upgrade slots. But then I realized that it takes all of my money to buy the armor, so right now I wouldn't be able to buy anything upgraded anyways. So I was like, well, I may as well get the better armor and then worry about upgrades when I can afford upgrades.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. The Estex suit 2 has 3 upgraded slots, but it's 2,700.
Yeah, but then you can't buy, because that's exactly what I was looking at, and so I went with the D suit one instead. But now I'm going with a different one because I realized I need heavy armor. But because the D suit has 3 upgrade slots, I was like, man, that's awesome. I looked at upgrades. I was like, oh, these are super expensive. I can't do anything.
I went with the Lashunta Temp Weave Basic. And I have EAC and KAC of 18.
I think I'm gonna go for the Death Rider.
I have EAC of 19 and KAC of 23 now.
Oh shit.
Yeah, plus 8 and plus 10 are pretty, are no joke.
Wait, how much did you spend on that?
$29.70.
I guess I do have that much.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm not gonna be able to buy like anything else, and I keep
and you
getting
have
completely
heavy armor proficiency.
Yeah.
Does that get in the way of? But that's really like it's really bulky,
it's
right?
-5 walking speed.
I can't do that because like I'm not very strong. So like light armor is where I'm at. But the D suit is 5, 6.
5 and 6, yeah.
And the Lashunta is 4 and 4. It's just like 1 and 2 more, and it's like 1,000 more. Nah, not gonna do it. I just need to let you actually go into things first.
That's what I'm here for.
If nobody wants to use the force field generator, then I will upgrade my armor.
All right.
Do it.
Okay. I'm going to go to the Vest Brigandine 2.
And actually, Corey's is at 18 and 20.
20. Wait,
because she was still wearing both sets of armor.
Oh, yeah. I didn't. I didn't. Yeah, I knew I was forgetting something. I'm cheating again. Thanks, DM.
I was like, oh, my AC is great. Then I realized I'm wearing 2 sets of armor. I'm like, oh, that's why it's amazing.
But the other one was
I took off my second skin.
Yeah, mine's still 14 and 15.
Where are the... There they are. Serums. Okay, here we go.
So, Lucas, I put the force field into the chat for you.
Beautiful. Now to figure out how to
battery.
track that on my sheet.
So what I just did is I manually put an item into the inventory to remember that I have that. And then what Ben did is to apply it to an armor is we just added it onto the properties notes of that armor. I'm not quite sure how to add it onto the armor otherwise.
Okay, I'm wearing a pretty cool piece of armor. Do you guys look at the what your armor looks like?
Yeah.
Wait, you can do that?
Where can you see the picture?
Yeah.
So if you go to your armor in your inventory and then you go to other and then you click on the blue bubble within the text, it'll bring up a picture of what your armor looks like. If they have one for it.
Mine doesn't have a picture.
Yeah, I don't think all of them have a picture.
Oh, mine doesn't have a picture, I guess.
It does have a good description, though.
Yeah.
What in bother this week, so I got all the pictures on hand.
Hey, Summer, did you watch some of our game last night? Was that you that followed?
I did.
Okay, I was like, because I like said hello to you when you followed, and then I was like, wait a minute, I recognize that name. Did you did you watch the part where Ian chopped the dragon's head off?
No,
Oh my
I
God.
started watching around like
Swing.
7 o'clock.
Yeah, about 2 hours later, they finally made it to Skull Gorge, and there was a white dragon, and they have an invisible carpet. Well, what they did was they used Major Image, and they had two people on the flying carpet, and they flew over on top of the dragon, and then the fighter with a Vorpal sword jumped off and attacked the dragon and rolled a natural 20 and chopped its head off.
Wow, that's sick.
It was nuts. It was crazy. That dragon had 200 HP, just lopped its head off. Why did I give him that weapon?
There's a 5% chance of that happening every time.
I mean, you know, the crazy thing is, too, is like, because of how he's roleplayed his character, like, he lost access to that weapon at one point because he kind of renounced his, like, lordship. And it's like, it's tied to him being the lord of Dorder. And so unless he accepts his, you know, role as lord, the sword does not work for him.
Okay, where do you find the med pack things?
They're under serums.
Serum. Okay. Like, where are they hiding?
Why would you ever need those?
I mean, I might not anymore since I'm kind of a badass now.
Especially when you're wearing multiple suits of armor.
Yeah.
Says the person that
Sleep
almost
in
died.
That was before I had
That was
armor.
me. What are you talking about?
All right. Who's ready to get started?
Quick question.
Can
How do
we
I,
retroactively get items if we think of something we wanted?
Yeah.
Cool. We're good.
How do I add and remove items from my inventory?
If you click the pencil at the top right where it says edit list, then the trash cans show up and you can ditch things. And then to add things, you just look them up in the items and then you can drag them into your inventory.
Oh, okay. That's a lot easier.
Officially
Oh,
broke
yeah.
now. Here we go.
Ooh, that's cool. A hook sword?
All right. Since it appears that Zost did some note taking last time, Ryan? Why don't you give us a rundown of what happened last
All
week
right.
or 2 weeks ago?
So after sweeping the remains of the emptied Acreon, learning the fate of its unfortunate crew, the Starfinders boarded the Sunrise Maiden to return to Absalom Station, only to find an Eoxian light freighter, I'm not sure if I got any of these names right, a Thomtech carrion carver lying in wait to ambush us. So starship combat ensued. And under Captain Kiasi's command, Aridin 7 fired up our thrusters and pushed the Maiden to her limits, while Nibbles did her best to maintain the vessel's outdated shield arrays. With Eden and Core testing out the functionality of all the ship's weapons, the Corpse Fleet freighter was quickly neutralized. However, before any boarding party could be sent to investigate the meaning of this attack, the ship self-destructed. The Starfinders returned to Absalom Station and reported their findings to the Eoxian ambassador Nor. We learned of the celebrity we'd acquired from some of our antics captured by the security drone's video feed broadcast back to the station, and we learned of writing similar to what we found on the Drift Rock computer screens carved in ancient ruins upon Castrovel within their prohibited continent. We also got a message that Chiskisk wanted to discuss what we've found so far.
All right, and I believe you guys were just leaving the Eoxian embassy.
I think so.
Can't find my pen.
So, where would you like to go?
I guess the first place would be to talk to Chiskis, right?
Ring them up on a data pad.
Well, that certainly seems to make sense, but you could decide you want to go shopping first, and we'll just kind of hand wave that you went shopping first. But
Yeah, maybe it just gives us money though.
That's a possibility.
True.
Let's redo all the shopping.
We can do 2 shopping sprees.
Oh wait, I need to
To
play
just-
Arrow,
well,
not
Captain.
I need to play Arrow,
Captain.
not Nick.
We should make our way back to the market side to change our attire so nobody recognizes us. As if we're going to make our way to Castrovel, we'll be wanting new threads to accompany our new look.
What are threads?
The weaves that you conceal yourselves with.
Oh, clothes.
Yes, professional, environmental, and on and on. Thinking of it as like armor for your armor.
You go 2 sets of armor.
Or like a suit and tie that looks quite professional.
Don't you have something that you can like conceal what you're looking like and switch that up anytime you want?
I have a different change of clothes, if that's what you mean.
I thought there was that one thing that we got at the beginning. For it was like a disguise kit.
Yeah, there was a hollow skin.
Hollow skin. I have. Okay, cool. Found it.
Yeah, I've got like mechanics overall on top of my armor.
I like how Corey's like, can't you just make yourself look like anything you want to? Oh, no, wait, that's me. I have that.
Right?
That's me. Sorry. Yeah, I'm a badass.
Not to
Like
toot
that.
my own horn, but I'm gonna toot. Toot toot.
No one will ever be able to do it as well as Nari, though. She rocked that. Okay. Anyways, yeah. Captain, what say you? What are we doing?
Actually, guys, I'm going to have to be right back. Give me like 2 minutes.
Better timing. My dog just started to bark.
I actually think it's awesome that Nibbles is in this background art. And there's Zost at the top.
Previous employment.
I mean, that's an android right there in the middle, right?
Mm-hmm.
The crew's all here.
Or on the right.
We got everybody except for who is this? The Vesk person, the big lizard dude.
Yeah. Hopefully I don't get hit so much this next time that we get in combat.
Okay, I got you this time. Like, I will be like everyone's meat shield. At least till I realize that they're hitting harder now and I'm useless. So.
I got better armor, so now I'm not a squishy.
We can do this. Don't worry, Captain. I'll protect you.
It's also very important if we're going to a very hot or cold climate that our suits are leveled up for that reason. You get a number of days of environmental effects per your armor's level.
And if you can't afford such upgrades, I would recommend checking out some environmental clothings to assist you in some of the skill checks to survive these dangerous environmental conditions.
Like a jacket?
Sort of.
What kind of weapons would help us against something like the alien we ran into that could phase and stuff like that?
Gara Cacao.
Anything non-physical, I believe. Energy weapons.
My dog is not happy about something outside.
worried the rain's gonna come back.
Does
You live in a
anybody want
desert.
this
This doesn't
flame
happen.
pistol?
The what?
Deadly flame pistol.
That sounds like something Eden might like. Deadly, flame, you know.
Yeah, but Eden doesn't like getting that close to people.
Rachel, if you can hear me, does your armor have 2 upgrade slots free?
It has 1 upgrade slot currently, but the armor that I'm looking at to buy in the future also has 1, so yes.
Okay.
Why?
Because we had a force field available.
Yep. Nope. It's mine.
Nibbles
Rat
is
needs
like,
protection. Rather, this rat needs protection.
Yeah, I was looking at it. The next sniper rifle up is 4,750, and I was like, "Fuck."
That's if you're going with. Is it still physical or is it? Does it have?
There's
extras?
only one kind of sniper rifle.
Sheer and eye rifles.
I'll be right back.
Anybody else here?
Yep.
Yep.
We're all
Okay.
here.
Except Amanda. She just went BRB.
So you guys have determined that you're going to head back and talk to Shiskus, right?
We just got back from the marketplace.
Excellent. All right. Well, as you are finishing up your shopping, you decide that now would be a good time to go check in with Chiskus, see what you report in on your adventure, see what he has in mind, and share this information that you discovered. Because again, the Starfinder Society at its core is all about learning new things and exploring, and just trying to expand the knowledge of the society and culture in general. So you head back to the Starfinder Society Tower, which is located in the eye of Absalom Station, and you enter the headquarters. There's a receptionist who sees you, recognizes you, and welcomes you. Says, welcome back. We have all heard so much about your adventure on the Acreon and the Drift Rock. I'm sure Shiskisk is waiting to see you. Please, if you'll just wait here, I will check and see that he's available, and I'll send you right on up. And the receptionist does just that. Very quickly responds, says, yes, he is in fact, or they are in fact waiting for you. If you'll please proceed to the elevators, and as I'm sure you remember, his office is on the 4th floor.
You don't have to tell us where Chiskisk's office is. We remember.
Excellent. Well, they are most anxiously awaiting you.
To the lift.
To the lift, to the lift.
So as you may remember,
Moaning about
Chiskus
to the lift.
is a Shirin, and largely speaks telepathically. So as you enter into their office, each of you in your minds is greeted, and Chiskus says, welcome back. It's so good to see you again. As I was sure you would be successful on your assignment, you have indeed brought some bit of fame and renown to the society, which is always good for us. A good positive example from our society members is always good for recruitment and for expanding the reach and the influence of the Starfinder Society. So thank you for that. But come, tell me, what did you find? What did you find?
Man, where to start?
Captain?
Open up our notes. Hold on. 'Cause we found a lot.
There's a lot of things that happened.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that happened.
Well, Ambassador Nord provided the video feed from the Acreon. So I am aware of much of what you did on the ship. But tell me, what did you find?
Found an infestation of Akata amongst the previous crew's intestines. It seems that at some point they encountered the serious case of void death that was never treated amongst them. Between that and the space goblins that got on board, we were nearly surprised while still on board the Acreon. But things took a much worse turn once we got on board the Drift Rock.
Much worse.
Yes, I observed the Drift Dead who attacked you. What was remaining of the Acheron's crew, which is a horrible fate.
And there was that, like, the metal walls, that was interesting, right? I mean, that was weird.
Yeah, we found unknown technology that seemed to be very dangerous if improperly.
Yes, describe it in detail. I am most interested in this. This could be an undiscovered technology. This could bring, great interest and new possibilities to the Pact Worlds.
Zost is going to kind of reach out and kind of Vulcan mind link as he does this. Like he's pressing upon the forehead as he mind links to like share specifically like the imagery of these foreign metallic walls and some of the imagery that was displayed across these weird languages that popped up on the monitor. So he knows like specifically what we saw in case it sparks anything in his mind.
Okay. So as you do that, of course, being Sheeran, there's a certain level of comfort with that sort of mind link and sharing of information. So Chiskus displays no discomfort whatsoever in this way of communicating, and he narrows his focus to responding just to you, and says, "Excellent, that is most helpful. Yes, I can use this. I will access the Society's archives and see what I may find. Perhaps you can help me." And you can relay to the group that you all have access to the Society's archives, and he's going to use his access to the more restricted information to try to track down and assess the where there might be any additional information that this would reveal. Actually, okay, hang on, sorry. Allie just yelled at me.
I love you, Ellie.
He comes back with cobbler, I'm going to be pissed.
Don't you dare say that.
Does anyone have any credits they want to like lend me?
I have 10 credits you can have.
Yeah, 500 if it's any help.
I'm
That's all I have.
sending most of it to my family, so.
What?
That's your new way of hoarding.
How are you dividing it amongst your kids, Eden? Do you have a favorite of them?
You know, you can't pick favorites with them, you know.
Sure you can. Which one's the tallest?
Well, I forgot their names.
Wait, you forgot your kids' names?
Look, it's been
That
a
one's
long.
not the favorite then.
Maybe none are worth remembering. It's
Okay,
best to just leave them behind, I
that's
think.
obviously crossing a line right there. I don't like the tone that you're doing. I am just saying that some of them have the talents that the other ones don't have, and are each special in their own way. So there's no way I could pick a favorite.
All right, I understand. Then you hear Zost telepathically speaking to you. But if you had to pick one favorite, none of the others will have to know.
You know, Zost, I'm really starting to believe that maybe you weren't the favorite of your parents.
Oh, not at all. I was not very favored amongst the swarm.
Mm.
So, just so we're all on the same page real quick. We're completely okay with telling Chiskiss because I know he's part of the Starfinder Society, so we trust him with everything we are because it's who we are. We also know that this technology is really dangerous, so we're okay with sending on dangerous information to Starfinder Society because that's who we are. Yes.
Mm.
Like, if anyone can be trusted in the galaxy, it's the Starfinders, right?
Okay. That's what that's the page I was going with. But I want to make sure we
Maybe
were
that's
all.
what I'm leaning on. I could be completely wrong later on,
We
but
could be the bad guys, We could get completely stabbed in the back from this, but
I ran with a bunch of pirates, so I think everyone is non-trustworthy.
So we don't trust Nibbles.
That's fine.
But wait, you're in charge of the ship.
Don't worry, I'm just back here in engineering doing what I do.
Pay no attention to the mouse behind the curtain. My chair needs WD-40 again. It's driving me crazy.
Is it squeaking
It's
on you?
squeaking, yeah. It's like every time I move, it's like squeak, squeak, squeak. I was like, ah. And I just did it not that long ago. It's like this chair is just so old. It's like, help me. But it's really comfortable still, so it's like, I'm gonna keep you. I'll just WD-40 you and you'll be okay.
Okay.
So do you need my 10 credits?
Well, see, I'm looking at the sniper rifles here, and there's this specialist coil rifle that is 3,120 credits. It's a sniper rifle that has 6 rounds, and it's not unwieldy, so it's not like fucking massive. And
And you want it.
kinda, but if I get it, that means I can't afford my armor.
If you're a good enough sniper, you won't need armor.
I mean, that was my thought.
I have the armor, So, it's fine. I mean, how often has it been me and you against all the creatures so far, right? I mean, it's not like you're in the thick of things. That last battle, I mean, you got in at the very end. You were running back and forth the whole time.
Okay, let's see. What? I don't even remember what I started at. Shit.
We were all about the same. I was at 3080, where we could
Holy
scroll up
crap,
higher.
we were
No,
nowhere near the same.
we were
I was
nowhere near the same place.
27.
Yeah, I had 27.
Okay, I'm going with 27 then. Because I think I was a little
No,
lower
it
than
said
that.
yours was 2104, and then plus 500, so 2604.
That was exactly where I was at. Okay, 2604 is where I was at. Okay.
2011, but on my thing he put 2080, but that's fine.
All right, and then if I selling the sniper rifle gets me 377. So that puts me to.
You could sell 2 of them, right? Is that before you sold the other?
Oh, you're right. If I sell mine as well.
Oh, that's right. Our previous equipment is sold at, is it 10% or 50%?
50 for now.
50 for right now.
50. Okay.
Oh, I could afford it by my lonesome. But I wouldn't have any new armor. I'd keep my second skin armor.
Well, how much would it? What kind of armor would be decent for you? We can pitch in for armor because I think you're better at dealing more damage.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, hold on. I'm going to put my second skin back on my inventory here. I'm going to get rid of this Lashunta basic weave. I'm going to equip my second skin. Okay.
I would have freebooter armor left over if that's better than your second skin.
Probably.
Well, I mean, if you sell the freebooter, sell your second skin, and we pitch in a little bit, then you could probably get some like clear weave or something a little higher than that. Because you want to have those levels in the armor for days of protection. If we're going to Castrovel and it's a jungle planet, you're going to want as much protection as possible.
Well, after I sell my sniper rifles, I would have 3,358. The coil rifle will cost me 3,120. So I'll have 238 credits.
248 if you count my 10. You're welcome. Don't say I never gave you nothing.
Right.
Well, let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
I've
Okay.
got
Now I'm
300
switching
credits.
over to the armor list here. Okay. So second skin itself is only 250, so it only sells for like 125.
Yeah.
I don't know what armor I had originally because it's
So I'd
not
be
in my
at
inventory.
363 if I sold it.
I got 500 credits if you need it.
And if Ryan gives you the freebooter armor, that's another, what, 375?
Well, it's 500 or the freebooter armor. Because the
I could
500
just
is
wear
including selling the freebooter.
I could just wear the freebooter armor. I mean, it's better than the second skin. It'd give me a +1 to KAC, +1 to EAC.
But it's only got
And
you only have a 4 dex right
I only
now.
have a +4 dex, yeah.
And it's better than the other armors we could afford by pooling together.
Agreed. Yeah. Alright, so I'll just wear your freebooter armor. And then I'll sell my second skin.
You can sell it to me for 125.
Do you want it?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Well,
Got a scrapper.
I'll just give it to you then. I won't sell it to you.
My thought process is, God forbid we're a week on this planet, I want to have an extra day of environmental protections.
Oh, and then I spent 100 on serums, so I am at 138.
I'll be right back.
Now I gotta make sure this rifle gets all my extra attack bonuses and stuff. Great. Probably should have copied those before I deleted my other weapon.
So you get a coil rifle specialist?
Yeah.
Oh,
2d6
that's sweet.
damage and bleed damage, and it has 6 rounds, and it's not unwieldy.
I wonder if I could actually use that weapon with my operative stuff.
It doesn't have the operative special ability.
So, what effect does the unwieldy have on a rifle for you?
1 shot per round.
Oh, so can you get multiple shots off now, or at higher levels you'll be able to?
No, he can do a full attack action now.
I can do a full attack action now with a sniper rifle. And if I use my move action to aim, I have a range of 250 feet.
That's going to come in handy. Let me verify what my trick attack is based on. Oh, it has to be a small arm or a melee weapon with the operative special property. Bummer.
Just means you have to find a way to break the game.
I think there's a feat or an operative thing that allows you to use sniper rifles.
Oh wait, because of my weapon specialization, I'm supposed to add my character level to damage. Oh shit. I need to fix that.
Sorry, guys, had a small kitchen emergency.
Oh,
Well,
There
how
was,
dare you?
There was broken glass and cleaning up, and yeah. Okay, so Chiskisk, while you guys have been assisting him with the search, he has been digging through Starfinder records, trying to find anything that might be useful to compare to what you guys found on the Drift Rock. And what he's able to find, this takes a couple of hours, but Chiskisk comes back and reports to you. There is some good news. The Starfinder Society's linguistic database recognized many of the symbols you found on the Drift Rock, because this is not the first time they've appeared post-gap. The bad news is that the source is highly unreliable.
How highly is highly?
All that we have about these earlier texts comes from Halquim Zahn nearly 3 centuries ago, and it seems that
Can
no
you
published
spell that?
studies of those texts have appeared since. According to these records, Zahn's original findings were donated to the Kabarat University of Xenoarchaeology and Xenoanthropology on Casterville shortly after his disruptive expeditions.
Disruptive?
Let's just say that Zahn was not authorized to make the expeditions he made. But fortunately, the Society has numerous alumni from that university, and I can readily secure you a contact there and forward my personal recommendation to a few faculty members. Perhaps they can show you Zahn's notes and even take you to the original site so that you can search for more clues about whatever this drift rock once was.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Were the expeditions Zahn performed on Castrovel or elsewhere in the galaxy?
Sorry, repeat your question.
The expeditions that this Zahn guy made, were they on Castrovel or were they elsewhere and his notes just went to Castrovel?
Yes, Zahn, well, as I'm sure you're aware, Ukalam, the fourth continent on Castrovel, is, well, considered off limits. It's somewhat of a nature preserve that the three primary inhabitants of Castrovel have agreed should be preserved as such. Well, Zahn made his expedition to Ukalam, and he did it without the proper authorizations. So that is why he ran into difficulties. In fact, it was Zahn's expedition that largely led to the imposition of full-scale restrictions for any off-world explorers to Ukalam.
Well, that complicates things a bit.
It does, but perhaps with sponsorship and the the goodwill of the Kabarat University of Xenoarchaeology and Xenoanthropology, we could, or you could, be allowed to travel, perhaps with someone from the university who would be authorized and could take you with them.
Did we mention that we found a ship? So, I mean, we could technically fly there ourselves, right? Would that be a problem, or do we still have to have someone?
That would be a problem.
I mean, can we just have a note?
We need someone permitted to be on the prohibited continent.
Wow, we can't just be like, yeah, we have a note. It's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine. But we can bring someone with us. And it's your call, not mine.
Chiskisk, are there any members of the Starfinder Society who fit these qualifications?
Well, as I'm sure you're aware, the Kabarat University of Xenoarchaeology and Xenoanthropology is one of the foremost institutions of higher learning for explorers and galactic ethnographers in the Pact Worlds. In addition to training many great archaeologists, the university maintains a staggering archive of artifacts, recordings, and other findings from throughout the system. This makes them a natural ally of the Starfinder Society, and while none of the faculty at the university are the Starfinders themselves, we have strong contacts with them, and I'm sure we can find someone there who would be willing to help.
What was the name of the university again?
Yeah. Say it 5 times fast.
The Kabarat University of Xenoarchaeology and Xenoanthropology. Kabarat University of Xenoarchaeology and Xenoanthropology.
They call it the university.
Well, is there anything else that you can offer us that would be helpful?
Well, I do have just a small amount of information about Hakuim Zahn himself. So, as you know, the Starfinder Society is an organization dedicated to uncovering the secrets of the universe and its past. As in any pursuit, a sensational hero can attract new recruits, and a buffoon can tarnish the whole field. Halquim Zahn was both. He traveled throughout the Pact Worlds, making a name for himself as an explorer and archaeologist, but his techniques were utter rubbish. He was a looter with a good press agent, and he published lurid gibberish like Pyramid People of Ukalam. His articles were popular with the public, but for every diligent explorer they inspired, another two were unscrupulous treasure hunters who just wanted to blow things up and call it archaeology. It was the trip he made to Castrovel and to Ukalam, and that provided the basis for his Pyramid People of Ukalam. This was the expedition that got him in such trouble with the Castrovelian authorities. In fact, I believe they confiscated almost all of his findings, and his book had to be written from memory and notes.
Reminds me of a gentleman I know named Professor Lockhart.
Professor Lockhart? Not entirely sure I recognize that name.
That's okay.
Although now that I think about it, did he write Magical Me?
Oh, yes, the very same.
Ah, yes. I think you've hit it exactly.
Bunch of mystic rubbish.
Isn't that what you like?
I like the good mystic quality, really, not that sort of rubbish trash.
You mean there's a difference?
I wouldn't expect one of a simpler mind such as yourself to understand.
That's fair.
As you guys are having this discussion, Chiskus is still kind of tippy-tapping on his computer, and says, "Ah, yes. I believe I found the appropriate person for you to contact upon Castrovel. There is a postdoctoral student named Welos who has worked with the Society in the past. I will ask him to greet you when you land in Kabarat."
So we have to go to Gabarat to meet this guy, so we can go to Castroval to figure out more on the.
Abra is the the main hub of Castrovel.
The shining jewel of the Western Sea.
Sorry, names.
Some call it the life giver of Castrovel.
Don't you remember
It's
where you were
familiar with
born?
Kabarat.
Sorry.
Largest
I just forgot that's where I'm from.
Well,
Like I said,
maybe she.
Clore is familiar with Kabarat.
Yeah, Amanda. Sorry, guys. Oh. Amanda's not there. I'm trying to get notes down.
So are we gonna have to drift? What do we call it to get there? What's hyperspace?
Yeah, drift. The drift.
Yeah, are we gonna have to drift to get there?
You have that option. It would certainly be the quickest way to get there.
Cool.
Do you have any more questions for Chiskus? Now, you haven't really asked a whole lot about what to do next.
Chiskus, there was one more thing that I'm not entirely sure the security drone picked up on. But after we left the drift rock, we were beset upon by an Eoxian vessel that bore some likeness to what is the something fleet.
A dead fleet?
The
Corpse
corpse
fleet.
fleet.
Oh,
Corpse.
close.
So close.
We were unable to detect any signs of life on board, but It was definitely moving about itself like it were preoccupied by an Eoxian or few.
It also
They
self-destructed rather than be captured.
Certainly does have the sound of a corpse fleet issue.
Yes, the
I cannot
ambassador
imagine.
very verbosely denounced them.
Very quick to brush it off.
And out of character, bribe us to keep quiet.
Well, I shall certainly make the incident known to the contacts I have. I don't know what good that will do, but I'm sure the station is aware of the issue. The Acreon is not docked that far away from the station. Surely the station's sensors picked up on the conflict. But just in case, I will make sure that others are aware.
Try and be discreet with who you bring this news to.
Well, I will do my best to stay in contact.
Did we ask Jiskis about the tip that the Eoxian dude gave us?
About the runes on the planet on
Yeah.
Castro?
That was it. We
That
basically
was
got
this.
the same
Okay.
information.
Yeah,
Okay,
those
okay.
are-
Chiskus gave us a little bit more.
Okay, got it. Just
Zahn
wanted to double check.
These ruins, it seems.
So when do we depart?
Well, this is a most exciting discovery. I suggest you depart as soon as possible. I mean,
Maybe
surely
some shopping first.
if there are things you need to do about the station, then I would take care of those first. But we should not lose time in following up on this.
Oh, no. Yeah, we should definitely hop on this before any other people might know of potential whereabouts of certain things found in certain spots. She's gonna wink, like she was being super stealthy.
Do I need to pay my rent?
In game or out of game?
One thing that I would remind you all is that while your success and the fame that it has brought you and the society is certainly a boon, it does mean that there are others who are now aware of what you found. There's always a race for any potential new technology. There is value and, well, money to be made from these sorts of discoveries.
And the crucial new information to be found.
So while I would certainly take care of whatever tasks you have about the station, I would not waste time. For others surely will be trying to find the same information that we have found. And some will certainly draw the same conclusions. Zahn is not well known anymore, but it is a published book, and should someone start researching it and looking, I'm sure they will find it as well.
Do you have a copy of it?
I do not, but I am sure that you will be able to track one down, either on the Infosphere or on Castrovel.
What was the name of the book again?
The Pyramid People of Ukalam.
Well, Nibbles, would you like to go prep the ship with me?
Oh, of course, Tin Soldier. Let's go.
I honestly don't trust people. I'm like, if we're not on the ship, it's clearly being fucked with.
I am going to give it a thorough once over for tracking beacons and things of that nature. Ben, we didn't salvage anything from the blown up Eoxian ship, right?
I think we got 500 UPB of scrap from it.
Ah, okay.
Did we sell that, or are you using it?
I think I gave everyone like the stuff you salvaged and or collected. I think we've converted as much of it into money as you could.
Good. Yeah.
I
'Cause
still
they're
have 300 UPB. What does that mean?
That's the universal
building
money.
polymer building base.
That's universal polymer base.
I have
It
Case
is-
somebody doesn't accept galactic credits.
Yeah, it's effectively money, but it's also usable for like doing ship repairs and stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
I was just looking up the rules for linking weapons. So if we were to move weapons, like for instance our light laser cannons, if we put 2 of them in one arc, you can fire a bolt in one go.
Nice. And Eden definitely has that down. 100%.
But we don't have the resources to do it unless we got rid of the escape pods.
Maybe just hang on to those just a little bit longer, just to see. I mean, we haven't even had the ship like a day, so let's give it like a day and a half. Decide if that's something we really want to get into.
Besides, if your old pirate friends come round, I think I'll be wanting that escape pod handy.
Okay.
I'm just saying, sometimes the ships aren't the most reliable way of, transportation. So sometimes if you need to get out, you need to get out.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Anywho, let's get that shopping done and let's get out of here. We've got important information to discover about the world. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be so good. I just feel good things coming. Good things. I'm sure of it this time. Not like last time. Last time it was not good things. This time it's gonna be way better. You'll see. So while you guys head back to the ship, did you guys want us to pick you up stuff from the market? That way we all have our stuff and we can all go to the ship. Kind of out of character, in character, because we technically did our shopping. That way you guys can go to the ship and protect it while we buy your shit, and then we can all leave.
If there's anything else you need, now's the time.
I mean,
Exactly.
I'm good to go.
I've got my candy bars, I've got my armor, my batteries are all full, I'm good to go.
Yeah, do it.
Everyone has snacks.
Okay, yeah, let's get out of here. I'm ready. If Captain's ready. Captain?
Yep, let's get the show on the road.
Eden?
Did you get a chance to write those letters to your children? Send them the money?
I did. I'm fully ready. I'm ready to go, so let's do it. Yeah.
I like your enthusiasm.
So I'm perfectly okay with doing, retroactive shopping. In case y'all find anything else you want. But there are certain categories of things that if you discover, oh crap, I really need this, and you don't have it, that I'm not going to allow you to retroactive shopping on. So, are there any items?
Do we have like antidotes and like poison cures and stuff like that?
I have 2 serums of healing. That's what I got.
I also have 2 serums of healing.
So we're set, that's what we do. You guys had to figure out complex.
I know Ryan had asked, does anyone want to do any like investigation about Casterville before you go traveling there?
I mean, we've been there, right? Like, we've lived there, we fought there, like, so we would know exactly what it's like, right?
The change X amount of years.
So does anybody have any questions about where you're going based on what your characters should know?
Yeah, is there any kind of, like, environmental things that we should let the rest of the crew be aware of. Like it's a tropical
About
climate,
terrible
and you're
beef
gonna sweat your
stews?
balls off.
Beasties?
The air is poisonous.
It would
no,
probably
the
be good to let them know that it's a tropical climate and you're probably going to sweat your balls off.
But it's
That literally
not
you're
poison.
going to a jungle.
So not poisonous air, it's just really hot. And there's really sketchy creatures that try and kill you on occasion.
But the climate is still like just like a normal climate, right?
Or like going to the rainforest.
No, it is mechanically balls hot.
Okay, so what you're basically describing
Humid
is
hot?
space Australia.
Yeah, humid hot.
Humid hot is not a
Very,
word.
everyone should get some environmental clothing to provide a +2 circumstances for fortitude saves against environmental heat dangers.
How much is that? Because I only have 10 credits.
10 credits.
Oh, I'm totally buying that. Sorry, Aerodin. I know I said you could have it, but I'm gonna.
That's okay. I don't
Yep,
need
there
it.
it
All right, clothing environmental. Putting it in. Done. Spending 10 credits on it. Done.
Also find that there are options for your armors that you can do basically environmental stuff for.
I already have environmental clothing. I don't have to buy it.
Well, you got to pick which environment that clothing is for, because there's a couple of them.
Where would we find the clothing environmental?
So do I have to buy another one?
It's under items, and then search for it.
I literally just dragged the one that Ryan linked.
That one took it out of my inventory.
Oh, whoops, my bad.
No worries. I didn't realize it would do that. Now we know.
So I bought the clothing environmental like at the beginning because I figured we needed something. So then do I have to? You said I have to go pick which one?
I'm okay with saying that if you've got one, it was for hot weather.
That's where you're from.
Okay. Okay, so that's cool. So there's like the zero gravity. Okay. Yeah. Maybe I should just get one of each. I only have 10 credits. Let's slow down. But eventually, I could get one of each. Haha.
Or for 20 credits, you can get one that's good for 2 of those environments.
What's that one called?
Well, it's the same environmental clothing, but I think it's the last paragraph. That the benefit of an environmental outfit can be added to another type of clothing, including a different environmental outfit, by doubling and adding together the price of both types of clothing.
Okay, so you can have 2 environmental clothings.
It
Oh,
doesn't
so
just
like
have
if
to be
you
for
had-
environmental clothing. It could be a different type.
So, like, if you had travel clothing, you could add the environmental clothing to that.
Yeah.
Nifty. Look at us learning.
Well, Aerodin will go to the ship to prepare.
Okay. Yeah, and then we'll be right behind you. Well, you're an android. You won't get hot. You'll just be wet. Scared, like,
I don't know. Can androids overheat?
Yeah, I still need the clothing and stuff.
Okay. So yeah, okay, we're good. We're good. We all got clothing. We're good.
All right, so as long as you're thinking along those lines, anything else you'd like to try to pick up?
Got like a tent.
I have a tent, but I think it's a
have a
one-person
tent.
tent.
I do not have a tent.
Are there any, would Aerodin or Kiasi or Kore know about, are there venomous creatures that we need to be aware of in the jungles?
All kinds of
Sure
nasty
is.
creatures in the jungle.
Yeah, there's nothing good there.
So how much does antidote cost?
75.
Who's got some extra money?
I put it this way:
I do.
if you think about it, kind of like going into the Amazon, but going into the Amazon in 1810.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Who's got some antidote?
Okay, we're gonna need some tents. We're gonna need a water filter.
Bug spray.
Lots of bug spray. All the bug spray. Does anyone have a machete to cut? I have my sword. We'll be fine. I'll cut the trees. We'll be fine. stuff to make
Let's go
fires,
with it.
so we can cook, you know, in case we need to do that.
Yeah. Trail rations. Everyone got their rations?
Have some rations. I had where? Yes, no.
You can't call in Starfinder.
Where did my rations go?
Would it be
Okay, they're there.
here or
We're good.
It's the meal things.
Meal, yeah, it starts with meal. I was looking for ration,
No,
but it's all in
no.
alphabetical.
So I just linked the environmental rules. If you click on that and then scroll down about halfway, there's heat dangers. So that'll give you some idea of what you're dealing with from a heat standpoint.
Okay, cool. And we're severe heat. Or...
Ukalama is very hot.
So we're talking over 140 degrees.
No, over 90.
Severe heat.
That sucks to people.
No,
with,
Oh,
you
very
got
hot.
heavy
Okay.
armor.
very hot, then severe, then extreme. We're at very hot.
So I just got heavy armor, and now I take a -4 penalty for getting heavy armor. This is cool.
Heavy clothing or armor of any sort. Yeah.
The reason I linked that is to point out that having the environmental clothing will certainly help, but that means you're not wearing your armor.
Right.
You get one.
Can I put it over my armor?
Wait, but what was that last paragraph where we can combine them?
The environmental clothing can combine with a different type of clothing, not with a type of armor,
Gotcha.
but it can be worn over armor.
Light armor.
Over.
Right.
Right.
Not heavy.
I'd have to double check that. Lucas, what's the anti-venom stuff called in Starfinder?
Antitoxin.
Antitoxin. Thanks.
You gain a bonus equal to 3 plus the medicinal tier. So it'll be
Where are you
a plus
finding
3
that?
bonus for poison for a number of hours.
I'm not finding it in the items.
It's under medicinals. That's it. They don't want us to survive.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you just take a little damage. It's not even that much.
It's non-lethal as well. Which
But
means
no
that
one
heals
likes
up.
to be sweating hot. Okay,
Who's
guys?
scared? Let's go.
I just don't like it there. Brings back bad memories. Especially the smell of fire.
Well, I'm ready.
Okay, yeah, no, let's just, I mean, you know, we only live once, so why not, you know, chance that. Let's do it. On your command, Captain.
All right. So, you guys are gathering up to go into the Sunrise Maiden, unless y'all decided to rename the ship.
Nah.
No.
Not yet. Sunset Maiden.
Okay. Well, who would like to roll me a 1d6? Should be either probably the captain or the pilot.
I will. Oh, I
No,
got one.
leave it to the captain.
All right.
Maybe low is good.
So when you engage the drift engine, it takes you 1 day to travel to
Yo,
Casperville.
Oh.
get wrecked. I mean, Aerodin says, I know the route quite well. Beep, boop, 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 boop.
Wouldn't mind it having an extra day or two, but you know, time is of the essence in these situations. This will be fine.
All right. So, as some of you are aware, Casperville was a vibrant planet of sparkling blue oceans, continents blanketed in vividly green forests and swirls of clouds. Your destination is Kabarat.
So pretty from up here.
And as the Sunrise Maiden enters the atmosphere near Kabarat, the city-state's aviation authorities hail the ship, asking for identification.
Aerodin will radio over their identification. This is the Sunrise Maiden requesting for docking. Permission for docking.
Sunrise Maiden, we hear you. Please proceed to landing pad 14. And they direct you to what's called Ship's End, which is the city's spaceport.
Cool. Is there a picture of Castrovel?
Is there a picture of Castrovel? That's a good question.
Probably really pretty.
I got y'all.
That's not exactly one. There's this. That's a good picture.
This one in the handbook. Ooh, that's way better.
There you go.
It's pretty.
So pretty from up here.
So
Why
where's
is
the
it-
main city at on this map?
Give me a second. I was going to drag a pointer or something over there.
Oh, cool.
I gotta
Sorry,
get
I'll
to
shut up.
Jeez, Nick.
I know.
So demanding.
I see a map, I get excited.
Where are all the things? So that's what the
Kabarat is right there.
Where the 5 foot is? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Which one's the Forbidden Continent?
one to the south that's not attached.
I-
Oh,
Oh.
no.
Oh,
Oh, that big
it's
one.
a big continent.
Yep.
So which one
And
is
I-
the Formians continent?
The Formians
Where
are
all those cracks are.
down here,
Oh, that's okay.
and the elves are over here.
Oh, down there.
And then the Lashunta are on the big one.
Yep.
We're learning.
So the elves have their own little mini island over there.
Yeah, no one fucks with them.
Yeah, that's fine. Just let them do their thing. Let them live in their peaceful
Just
little
elves.
lives. It's like World of Warcraft. You only just live on a tree over there. It's fine. Just leave them be.
Pretty much.
Yeah, until the
Not
undead
anymore.
queen comes along and
Yeah, but
burns
that's,
it.
you know. I mean, maybe we could be the undead queen and burn it, you know?
All right. So, as you land, a couple of guards and a customs official come to your ship, and the customs official says, "We would like to speak with the captain of the ship, please."
Can we do some role playing on our way over there?
Oh, absolutely.
So
You got a full day of travel.
I'm gonna put up the ship map here. Get me in the zone. Yeah, wait, see, I still got images, uncategorized map, sunrise.
I should be able to
Got it.
bring. I guess the map is not attached to the Sunrise Maiden just yet.
It is not. Yeah, you have to go to the images and then and uncategorized. Summer taught us how to do it.
Well, what I'm going to try to do then is put a note in the starship that is the Sunrise Maiden's picture or map. Let's see if I can do that.
Quick link.
While Aerodin is flying, they're gonna turn to the captain and say, "So, Captain, how do you feel about going back to your home planet?"
Not too excited. Honestly, I mean, like yeah, it'll be nice to be back there, but Cuprat's not my home.
What's your home?
Kamona. Kamena.
Is that another city there?
Good. It is.
Okay.
I can even put the little into Starfinder into the chat.
Yeah, I don't have the one that has all the names on it, I don't think.
Man,
Google.
on Discord.
Yeah, I saw that. I was trying to find a.
Drop my marker.
Actually, let's see. Can you guys see the names on that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is.
Sweet.
Oh,
There we
yeah.
go.
Okay, so where's? Oh, there it is. Oh, your hometown was very close to the colonies.
Yep. It was relatively safe though. We're where it settled is high above the jungle. We didn't really have to worry about any of the beasts in there.
Well, while we're on planet, would you want to take a trip to your hometown?
Probably not.
Do you mind if I ask why?
I do.
Then I won't ask. Oh, Ben will BRB. Anybody else want
So
to do
now he's
anything on the
going
ship? Yeah, if Corey's around, like Aerodin will ask Corey how she feels about going back to Castrovel.
Yeah, after writing my backstory, I've decided she has a little mini bonsai tree that she carries with her, and she was watering it, but she'll totally talk. Yeah.
Corey, what can you tell me about these Formians? I've never encountered one myself, but even the Shirins where I'm from heard about the treaties and peace talks that was established by the Shirins amongst the many conflicting people of this Castrovel world.
Well, you guys are gonna test Amanda on some shit today, aren't you?
Well, Aerodin will speak up and say the Formians are terrifying.
I remember they're really bad.
Insect-like ant creatures that scurry on pointed legs through their tunnels.
They have these big old fang-like teeth things, and they just like to try and bite into you every chance they get, and just come out from the ground when you're least expecting it.
They have a bit of a hive mind, hence the reason why the Shirin were able to help with negotiations.
It can be a bit clearer when dealing with one's thoughts rather than one's words.
I could understand that, you know. Just gonna gesture to her antenna. Words can get a little confusing, whereas, you know, the mind's straightforward. There's no back and forth. It's just clear cut.
Yes, but it does bring to question the free will of those that are serving. The workers and the warriors do whatever they're told. And I mean whatever they're told.
It's hard to imagine any sort of existence outside of a collective.
I think it's harder to imagine existence inside of one. Like, I don't like to be, you know, you guys could tell me, hey, go man the guns. Then I'm gonna go and water my plant first. You know? Like, you can't just, it just doesn't work like that.
Think about it. In the moments that we were ambushed by that Eoxian vessel, a hive mind would mean that no such moments would be wasted to communicate, to get on board the guns. You would already be there waiting. It is your purpose.
Yeah, but like outside of, you know, combat and war and stuff like that, what do? You just whatever someone else, you can't even like have a minute to yourself? Like, do you guys all know when each other's going to the bathroom?
Pay tribute to the Oval Queen.
What if you don't want to do that?
Then you are not one of the collective. You already have free will.
Do you want to pay tribute to the Overqueen Zost?
Not since my connection was severed. But the Overqueen is just what I read about these Formians. Some sort of, if anything, more philosophical than an actual queen of sorts.
Either way, their whole society is based on this caste system. Link.
They're just not. I know I started reading that, so I got out of it. Sorry, guys. They're just not the kind of people, you just. After having to face them one-on-one, it's not so much fun when you got 10 of them ganging up, seeming to know your every move. And just, like, go to fight one, and that one sees what you're doing, and the other one knows what you're doing, and it just is a little bit more difficult to try and. So I guess in a way I can see how the hive mind is helpful, but it's also really creepy.
That communalism gives you that infinite advantage over your enemy when no means of communication is necessary. You all flow as one collective mind.
It just seems more like zombie-like and creepy, though. Like no one can be a real person.
If I'm being honest, I'm surprised that the elves and the Shunta lasted as long as they did against the Formians.
Well, it wasn't, from lack of trying, obviously. Elves, they're down there in their own world. Bugs don't really like to burrow through water to get to them. It's not like they had a huge problem dealing with them so much. I mean, I'm sure they had their issues, but it's not like they were like neighbors to them, land masses connecting it and whatnot. But man, it's just bullshit in here.
Formians have been breaking their treaty that they've made with the Lashunta for long periods of time.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Okay, so how old is Kore? Like, did she serve in the actual war?
Yes, she did.
Yeah,
and I
so
have
did Aerodin.
a number on her character sheet, and that's wrong because he said the war was 30 years ago. So she's probably like, how long do they live though? Because I want to be like 50.
They lived to 170 years.
Okay, so 50 wouldn't be weird. I mean, she was still younger when she got enlisted. She was probably about 20 or so when she got enlisted. It was 30 years ago. So yeah, she's probably going to be like 50-ish. 50, let's go with 53. That seems like a good number.
Yeah, I put that Aerodin's renewal date, so was 275 AG. So I don't know what year it is right now.
Put their age on the character sheet.
It's like 304 or something like that.
So, yeah, Aerodin's pretty old, too. But that's not that old. That's only like 29.
So she was like 20-ish or so when she was enlisted to do the army stuff, and then she fought in the war, and the war ended, and now she's living her life peacefully.
Because the war ended in like 286 AG.
Wait, so the war ended 30 years ago?
287 AG was the end of the Castervillian wars between the Lashunta and Formians. It's 317 is the current year.
317. Okay, so Aerodin's, yeah, a little older then. So 25, 35, 42. I'm 42.
I think 53 is a good number because I feel like that's 20. She was in the war, ended 30 years ago.
Yeah, Aerodin's age is weird because on renewal date, he's an adult. When he's born, he's already an adult.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Lashunta reached maturity at the age of 50, if I remember correctly.
Do they? So then she'd
So
be
you'd be like a
older.
teenager serving in the war.
That's reasonable.
Like fresh-faced adult. Like
You'd be like a 17-year-old that made it into the army.
Yeah, we'll go. Yeah, she was younger and impressionable, and was trying to do good for her world.
Because I have Kiasi. She wasn't even old enough to like serve in the war.
But you're so
she was, like,
smart.
7.
You gotta work on your brains. I just had to work on my bronze.
I didn't
I'm,
have a
like-
choice.
Like she was 7 when the war ended. So
Yeah. Yeah, because
Um,
that's how she met Aradin.
As you guys are as like Zost and Corey are like talking about the Formians, like if you do have like a higher like passive perception, you do see that Aradin is just like mouthing some names to himself as he's like sitting there being quiet.
Notice this. I have a -1 in perception. It's just everything changed after the war. Just things were never really the same. Just gonna kind of usher an arrow and like.
Okay, so
things
Lashunta
were never the same.
reached their age of maturity at 20,
Okay, so she was 20 when she entered the war. That's good.
and their maximum age is about 100.
She is old. So they're like humans.
She's middle aged.
Okay, she's grandma.
Yeah, in fact, their maximum age is the exact same as humans.
She's a grandma, guys. I imagine her this hip, cool girl. She's a grandma. She's a hip, cool grandma, okay? You
I
can
sure
do
think
that.
she is.
She's been through some shit. Her charisma shows she's a hip, cool grandma, and she can take a hit. 53 years old. She can still deal with it. She's looking for that luxurious life to retire in. She's looking for the perfect retirement community.
I mean, it kind of makes sense that you, as like this older, Lashunta would look after Kiasi too.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm grandma.
You're
Call me
Iroh
Grandma
and
Kate.
Shizuko.
except with a little bit with less angst.
You could have more angst.
Always have more angst.
I really have more angst than Zuko.
You can have more angst than Kiasi.
No, I'm saying that she has nowhere near enough angst. Go.
We'll work on it. And you know what? In her backstory, she's really all about the plants and stuff. And so, yeah, she probably does brew tea a lot. Tea helps everything.
I call this one brutality.
Brutality.
And Amanda starts speaking in Iroh's voice.
And to rewatch the Avatar now and get some good quotes.
Or just have like a really good like grandma voice.
To work on it, guys. But to work on it. My whole aesthetic has just changed in a moment. Wow. I have to find a new picture and everything. Grandma core.
Hey, we don't know what middle-aged Lashunta look like.
This was like her picture when she enlisted, okay? It's like, grandma bringing out, this
It's like
is
what's
what I
on? It's
used
the
to
picture
look
on her
like.
driver's license.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is what I used to look like, and now I'm just,
I offered you guys an alternate meeting. Like, Aridin can still be part of the big wars, and so could Corey. But you could also have met after the war stopped at. I don't know if y'all saw it.
that other one. Yeah, that I put it in my notes, so I remember.
I'm
all the
fine being
details.
42.
I don't mind being old ladies. It's fun. It's fun. Keeps things interesting. I drink the tea. I know the things. I'm not wise. I've just seen shit, so I know things. And like that's why sometimes she'll start to say something, and she's like, "Oh wait, no, Captain, what did you want to do?" We'll go with it.
What's Nibbles doing?
Uh,
What are Eden doing?
Nibbles is
What are the
replying to the
mice? What are the mice doing?
I am definitely taking something apart that doesn't need to be taken apart just to put it back together. Probably
Not the
life
toaster.
systems. Life safety systems first.
Hopefully she puts it back together correctly.
No, you just see Nibbles. She's like running up. Like she's got this whole playground of electrical devices in the engineering bay, and so she's crawling up some pipes and getting up into like electrical box, opening it up and looking and making sure all the fuses are good, and then she flips around, uses her feet to kind of balance herself on some pipes, and then she's like, oh, there's the back of the monitor, and she's checking all the little wires and things, and then kind of exploring stuff. So she's just kind of hanging out, fiddling. Also, I'm running through all the ducts to make sure that they didn't put a tracker somewhere on the ship. So you hear like scurrying of feet on air ducts, like tuk, 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 tuk.
She doesn't
Gotta do
eat
something with all the
cheese.
rest
She
of those
eats
MREs.
chocolate.
Yeah, exactly. I bought a bunch of rations just to take the candies out. Gotta do something with the rest of that food.
What's Eden doing?
Eden is taking apart, cleaning some weapons, you know, all the while kind of like putting like a little portrait of his family, occasionally looking at it as he's doing it, you know. Gotta keep in tune with his roots. Because that's his family, his one trait. I don't know.
Ben, I would like to roll a stealth check against Eden's perception.
No.
Go for it.
What are you going to do?
She's creeping on your kids.
Ah, gross. Come on.
She's picking favorites.
All right. Eden's passive perception is not that high.
No.
So when she puts up a picture of her kids and then she turns around to go get another one, I take like an extendo like radio antenna and I make the picture just off kilter so it's not level. And I pull it back in a bit.
Well, that's just odd. I thought I put it on like a nice little round ship. That is just odd. It's not going to bother me. I'm just going to work on the guns. It's not going to bother me that it's a little bit off kilter. You know, it's not. It's not going to bother me. It's not. It's bothering me.
While it's bothering her, I'm going to sneak down the shaft that's in this room, the maintenance shaft. And I'm going to try to move some of her parts of her gun. So that way, or his gun, so that way it's just like, it's not normal.
Misfires.
Roll another stealth check.
Yeah.
I hope you trip.
I'm not going to trip.
Trip.
I tripped.
Oh!
You totally tripped. So as you're fishing this little antenna thing out through the grate to try to move some stuff around, in your earlier tinkering, you had loosened some of these screws while you were inspecting things. You didn't put them all the way back in. So as you're starting to rest just a little bit too much weight on the grate, it pops open and you fall out.
Eden's going to roll around, draw his like small. Oh God, laser pistol and point it right at Nibbles. Oh, Nibbles, my friend. What are you doing in here? Dropping around? Dropping in for a visit? What the fuck are you doing in the vents?
I was going from room to room to make sure that everything was level. And it seems like this room is level.
All
I
right.
happened to fall out of the duct.
Uh-huh. And Eden does see your cable, right? It's...
Oh yeah, he's totally holding a little extended, poker thing, basically.
How
Alright.
smart is Eden?
I don't know, he's got a 12.
Smart enough to know when he's being fucked with.
I am my father of
You gotta
3
think he's
beautiful
got kids.
children. He does.
You don't think
He's used to all the
you don't think
fuckery.
all those little kids are playing pranks on dad?
Eden has +1 to both wisdom and intelligence. I don't think you're going to get this one past him.
Look, Nibbles, I appreciate, that you're playing tricks and you're, using the day to your best ability. And I'm not going to say anything, but I will say this: I will be really disappointed if you keep on doing this. Put time and energy into things that Oh God, doesn't do anything, but still, put more time and energy into something. Like doing something with the engines or something, like instead of messing with the picture of my family, you know. I just want to say I might be disappointed in the future.
Next time, I pull trigger.
I understand. But I must say, you're going to need this. And I'm going to grab one of the parts of the gun and start running.
Oh, fuck no. Can Eden just shoot at her? Eden wants to shoot. Kill it.
Absolutely.
Dear God.
Can't wait till the censors pick this one up.
Well, shit.
That's a hit.
Is there any close range penalties?
No. Besides, you were running away. I assume you were at least 5 feet away.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Nibbles done got caught.
So, you managed to draw a bead and shoot Nibbles right in the ass.
Does Nibbles
Captain,
drop
I'm
it?
showing shots fired in Eden's room.
Did I just hear laser fire?
Yes, this crazy rat is shooting at me.
You don't call me a rat! That is something that is not good! Why do you refer to yourself as a rat? We are not rats! Why would you? That is not something. That is beside the point right now. You do not steal my weapons!
It's like an
Alright, you will face.
it's like a
you will
racial
face the
slur
wrath.
to them.
You face the wrath of Eden's no, and you shall finally realize that just because I am a father of very beautiful children, that does not mean that I take any survivors.
Chaos
So
is gonna
give me
make
that
her way
fucking
back
card.
there.
So I continue running.
Oh, well, all right. Eden is going to chase her down. Looks like she's chosen death.
He's chosen death.
Maybe.
Oh God, I don't have that much ammo. I didn't think to pick up any more. It's fine. It's fine. It is funny. I'll shoot again.
Not before I stun you.
So that's a miss.
If it's possible, can I use Psychokinetic Hand to get the weapon out of Eden's grasp?
You can certainly try.
I have to be right back, so
Do you
I
want
give
me
the
to
part back and I
intervene?
go and hide.
We're not done yet here. No.
Eden will take it. That is. Don't ever try to steal anything from me, especially my gun. No one does anything to that. No one.
I get the feeling Nibbles just dropped it and kept running.
Yeah, no. He's going to mumble that. No one steals anything from me. If she decides to do it, that's fine. Then she just has to choose death. What does she think that I will? That I'll pull my shots back? No, I won't. I always aim for the heart. Oh hi, how are you doing right over there?
Is there a problem back here?
Oh, just a little bit of captain and not captain, but crewmate banter. I just want everyone to know right now. Don't touch the picture of my children, my wife, and my guns. Otherwise, I will be sure to kill. You know this is your warning. I just want everyone to know.
Please
All right.
refrain from shooting inside of the ship, or I will confiscate your weapon.
I'm not the one who started it, but whatever. I'm going back to my room. I'm going to clean my parts. No one touch my ship.
You just
The joys
guaranteed that
of
she's
new
gonna touch
roommates.
your shit.
What?
Said you just guaranteed that she's gonna touch your shit.
Well then.
I'm glad I'm not your roommate. Like I can just see like there's like a line of tape on the floor and like something falls over the line of tape and I'll help it.
Eden just
Blasted back to the other side.
Yeah.
I imagine Eden's pretty open with his shit, but it's kind of like, yeah, just don't touch it, otherwise I will, shoot you.
Look but don't touch. You like
You
me?
Yeah,
could come
like that,
hang
yeah.
out. Just leave everything where it is.
Yeah, like, he's a pretty chill guy. Just don't don't mess with his family. Don't mess with his weapons. It'll be fine.
What were
Captain,
the
the planet
bunking
is
assignments?
approaching.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Was this
I was
saying-
just-
Oh, go ahead, Ben.
I was just asking, what were the bunking assignments?
Everyone has their own room except for Aridin and Core they're sharing.
Buddies.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure Nibble said that she set up like a hammock or something in the
Yeah,
engine
Nibbles
bay.
sleeps back there in the engine room. She didn't want to share.
In the rear airlock.
Yeah. We convinced her to change that idea after learning of Zos's past.
Yeah, she's just sleeping in the engine room now.
Hopefully trembling, like.
But I was saying, Captain, the planet is approaching.
Wonderful. I believe everyone could do with getting off the ship for a while, especially Eden. I think he has anxiety.
We shall be touching down in Copperette shortly.
All right.
The local temperature is blah 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 blah. Please put your
Sorry.
trees and everything in
Please.
their locked and upright positions.
So he's got to crank the climate control in his room while he's still got it.
Thanks for flying with the Sunrise Maiden.
If you have any children above this height, please secure them.
Oh, geez, I better go check on the rats.
Somebody needs to make sure.
Seriously, it's a
You
racial.
didn't hear
It's a racial slur.
That's their word. You can't say that.
She's like, look, I don't let my kids say it. I'm not letting you say it.
All right, so we fast forward to the ship has landed. The customs agent is now at the boarding ramp and is asking to speak to the captain.
Yes, I did. Hello, I am Captain Kiasi.
Yes. Welcome, Captain Kiasi and your crew, to Kabrat City. Just have a few simple questions. Do you have any goods or cargo that you need to declare?
No. No.
What is the purpose of your visit to Kabrat?
We are here to speak with. What was it? We are here on behalf of the Starfinder Society to speak with Wayless. Is that his name?
Welas, yes.
Waylos to inquire information about Ukalam.
Yes, and this Welas, where is he?
He was supposed to meet us here at the on planet. We weren't really given specifics about what he looks like.
Chiscus gave you both a picture and said that he would meet that.
Did he give us
Waylos
his
would
phone
meet you at
number?
university. Yeah, you've got all the contact information you need. But he was going to meet you at the university.
We're meeting him at the University of Cabrat.
And which university would that be?
Xeno.
Hold on, I got this. It is the Carbarat University of Xenoarchaeology and Xenoanthropology.
Xenoanthropology. I wasn't sure which.
Yes.
Archaeology or anthropology.
It's both.
Yes. Perhaps one of the greatest universities in all of the Pact Worlds, the Carbarat University of Xenoarchaeology and Xenoanthropology.
So I've heard.
Are you bringing any unregistered life forms?
What would be considered an unregistered?
Pets, unusual fruits, plants, essentially any life forms that would not be considered Pact World citizens.
I mean, we've got a bonsai tree on board, but it's not coming off with us.
Yes. And what do you expect the duration of your stay to be?
Oh, that's a good question.
To be determined, based on the information that we receive at the university.
Well, we should give him like
I don't know. A week? A month? How long do you want to say, Captain?
I was gonna say we should probably do like a month. That way we could actually gather information that we need if we end up getting stranded somewhere. Gives us time.
The captain.
I mean, you did travel to an entirely different planet. I said you did travel to an entirely different planet. Surely you're going to stay for more than a couple of days.
Yeah.
Yeah. A month. Yeah. Let's do a month.
All right. Well, I appreciate your cooperation. And she stamps some paperwork and hands over both a physical piece of paper to you and also a digitized version of it is sent to your computers. Here are your docking papers. You are free to travel about the city, while you are also free to carry whatever weapons you may have. Do please remember that while you are allowed to carry them, any acts of violence inside the city limits are extremely frowned upon and will be taken seriously. And welcome to Kabarat.
Don't look at me. I'm not the one. We all know who started it. I'm not going to fire on someone like some maniac. Certainly not something that touches, pictures of family or, a gun. I'm incredibly peaceful.
Why do you have pictures of a gun?
He looks like the type to studies, archaeology and.
Yeah.
So, that is Waylos. And now that you guys have landed, I assume one of you probably gives him a call.
Yeah, Aerodin will call him up and let him know we're on our way to the university.
Excellent. I just want you to know that I was so excited to greet you for the Starfinders that I have actually come to the spaceport. I am waiting outside.
Oh. Well, we'll be out shortly.
Excellent. Could you, I believe you have a picture of myself, so you know what to be looking for. Do you have pictures of you? So I have a sign. It says Starfinder Society, but I don't know that necessarily will help you all that much. So who should I be looking for?
You should be looking for a group that has 2 Lashunta, an android, a... What are you, Ryan?
Bug and
Sheeran.
Sharon.
And what are the rats?
I remember. That's why I always called him that.
Nisoki.
Nisoki. And 2 Nisoki.
Oh, so that was 2 Lashunta, 2 Yosoki, 1 android, and 1 Shirin. Excellent. I will be on the lookout for you. It's so exciting to meet you.
Right. Over and out.
All right.
He clocks in as evil. That
Come on,
smile
one's
says
bad.
evil.
Yeah, no. He seems too forward. He seems too nice. He's got to be evil.
Well, that's the thing. You'll just have to find out.
He's totally evil.
So I know it's been a little stop and start so far, but why don't we take a 5-minute break and then be back and keep rolling.
All right.
Okay.
I don't know where.
Yeah, he kind of does.
It's like, this guy looks familiar. Why does he look familiar? I'm like, oh,
I'm back.
I know. I will be right back.
So how much did I die?
Well, we had to eject you out from one of our airlocks,
It was a.
Oh, cool. I
It
get to
was a
roll a new
good
character.
funeral.
but it was unanimous. You agreed.
I really got to remember my operative stuff because you shouldn't have been able to even shoot at me.
That could make a difference.
So I've got this thing that's called Uncanny Mobility, and it says if you choose a target to of your attack before you move, your movement does not provoke opportunity attacks. And when you use a standard action to move, you can choose one creature and do not provoke opportunity attacks from that creature.
Nice.
I found my wall.
By the way, Rachel, we have a charger on this ship, so you can charge your batteries.
Okay, so that I can charge up my laser pistol, so I'm no longer running on this shitty ammo.
I'm just trying to play to my race's, my ancestry's mischievousness.
It wasn't your ancestors who made you a pirate.
How do you know? They could have given me up for piracy.
Aw.
Well, those are your parents,
Oh,
not
my
technically your
backstory.
ancestors.
How do you know? Rats live not a long time.
Hey.
The pirates you ran with, were they part of the, I think, free captains?
Yes.
That's awesome. I just started reading about some of this stuff because I picked up the handbook this week. Just looking through all these extra pages of lore. I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah, I ran with the free captains for a little bit. You know, just kind of hanging out, fixing pirate ships, saving up enough money so I could fix my poor folks' voice box.
Oh.
We're talking backstories?
I gave a mechanical reason as to why I can't maintain one accent. But yes, Nick, we were talking a little bit about backstories. How been part of the free captains, the pirates, and stuff like that.
So you're a pirate? That's why you're such a little shit?
No, I just figured I'd bother the old man.
Old man. How old is he? How old do the Yushinta live for? I never.
They reach maturity at 10, and they live to an age of 60 plus 1d20 years.
So
Okay,
max
he's
80 years.
okay. He's 34.
How old are your kids?
He didn't. He had it at a later life. You know?
Wait, so, like, is Eden old enough to be Nibble's father?
Yeah, how old is Nibbles?
You don't ask a woman their age.
Yeah, I just did.
I mean, women ask other women their ages.
Yeah, that.
Oh, that's right. The captain's asking. Caught me on a technicality. Nibbles is 14.
So she's a
Oh,
baby.
yeah. Eden's really could
She's
easily
not a
be
baby.
your father.
She's a full adult.
Oh, she's mature.
I don't know if I'm mature.
It does mean
Sorry, I'm
Eden
getting
could be your
nervous.
father.
I don't see the resemblance at all.
I do.
No.
Who is asking about favorites?
Well, you're no longer my favorite on the crew.
That means he's got a favorite.
I don't have a favorite child.
It's okay. You can tell me. It's just
I
me
hate
and
Wait,
your
you had
mind.
a favorite crew member?
This is your conscience speaking. You can trust me.
I'm not going. I'm not. I don't have a favorite child.
Well, sure you do. The one in the left of that picture.
No.
Oh, so it's not him. All right. We're ruling him out as we go.
Okay, that is going over the line. That is my little girl there. Nothing.
Yep, but not your favorite girl.
No, I don't have a favorite. I told you, no. I don't have favorite.
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
boys.
is she your only daughter?
No. I have 3 daughters.
If
Oh,
you
they're
could
all
only feed
girls.
one of them and the rest had to
I-
starve,
I
which
would-
one
would
would
it
you
be?
feed?
I would rather die than having to choose which one
Oh,
lives.
so you'd want them to cannibalize you? Okay.
Yes.
I see how you work.
A rat.
You're not rats.
So if you only had to choose one of them to feed to a
I'm
Garakatal, which
not-
would it be? I'm not
Mm,
asking for a favorite, just which one do you like the least?
Ooh, that's a good angle. There must be an answer to that one.
They're both great. They're all.
There's always a question. Well, you said both,
My
but you have
oldest
3.
is 4. My oldest is 4. And my 2 youngest are 2. I'm not going to choose a favorite.
Wait, didn't you say you have like 14 children?
No, I had 4.
Oh.
I thought it was
you
3.
said 3.
No, I have. Sorry, I'm bad.
I thought you. I thought for
now.
some reason you
Dun,
had
dun,
like
dun.
14
Well,
children.
his 3 daughters and Nibbles.
No, I had one of them age 4. It's named Magnum Mouse. I have twins called Siren Poli and Kata Paramoy.
Could you spell those in the chat for us?
Oh God.
Remember
Oh,
that
God.
name Michael Mouse?
Because aren't they didn't you name your children after guns?
Guns and I think like a type of mouse or in the rodent family. So I think it's Magnum, Katana, and I don't know what sarin is, but I think it's an explosive or chemical agent.
Well, sarin is a nerve agent, like
Oh,
sarin gas.
There we go. Whoops.
It's also the name of the high
That's the
school in
least favorite.
Kuroko's basketball.
Was that an animal?
Yeah. It's
Oh.
one I've been watching a lot lately. That's why it's on
It's
my
spelled
mind.
differently.
It is. But anime sports is my new favorite thing. It's the
Sports
right
animes
amount
are
of
so fun to
drama.
watch.
What?
So who's your least favorite?
I don't have a least favorite. Why do you keep
Who's like
interrogating
the
me on
middle
that?
favorite?
Well, if there's like 3 of them, you could easily rank them 1, 2, 3, right?
But the twins, are both the twins named Sarah and Polly? Like, they both have the same name?
No. It's Seren Poli and Kata Paramoy.
Oh,
Polly.
those are. Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
thought you said you had 4. Now I'm confused.
Yeah, no.
Wait,
oh,
so what
oh,
are
I
your
do have 3.
what are your kids' names again?
God, okay, hold on.
She has a missing twin. Dun, dun, dun.
I'm
Corey, I think
So
the
Sarah
fourth
Polly
one
is
is his
one
least
twin, and
favorite.
Kata Paramoy. Oh my lord.
Pormoy. Okay.
Paramoy is a sex. So
So
those
if you
two are
had to
the twins.
give one of your kids to the free Captain Pirates, which
I'm
one
not-
would it be?
None of them. I would rather become a pirate myself than to.
Well, I mean,
have
if you have twins,
Told
it
you,
means you
they're
have.
my ancestor.
But if you had to leave your kidneys behind for
Why
your
are
food
we
favorite,
having a fucking conversation about this?
Oh, we're just talking about it as we're leaving the airport.
Buelos needs to know these things.
Well, you're going to never know the information because the information does not exist.
Well,
Does
it
your
just means it'll take
your
you
wife
steps.
have a favorite?
It does not exist.
My wife, Dolores, does not
So
have
you've discussed this with her.
No, we don't discuss this with each other. We love our children.
Do you
Just
love
not
who do you love more, your wife or your children?
Oh my god.
And at that point, you see a guy holding up a sign who seems very excited that says Starfinder Society.
Staffenders.
Oh, look, it's Waylos.
Oh, thank God, able to rescue me from this now.
Take me with you.
You guys are douches.
Maybe he has kids. I bet he has a favorite.
So, as you approach Waylos, you notice that even for a Demaya Lushunta, he is tall and thin, almost to the point of seeming gaunt. His clothing is a stylish blend of local silks, but the overall ensemble shows considerable wear, as though he has relied on this nicer outfit for formal meetings for many years. He nonetheless beams at you with antenna-twitching excitement to meet the PCs and show them around Kabarat. As an advanced student of xenoarchaeology, he has collaborated with members of the Starfinder Society before, and he's eager to hear about the PC's recent findings. So he hails a robotaxi and starts piloting you guys through the city and towards the university. As the taxi wends its way deeper into the city, trees give way to elegant towers of carbon fiber, glass, and steel, each artistically sculpted to create a stunning forest of dazzling skyscrapers. The Kabarat University of Xenoarchaeology and Xenoanthropology is just north of the downtown commercial district. It consists of about 10 buildings scattered over a campus of groomed lawns and gardens. So I'm so excited to meet you all. I've had the opportunity to work with some Starfinders in the past, and it's always been most exciting. So please tell me, what can we do to assist you?
Waylos, I'm wondering, have you ever traveled to Ukalam before?
No, I have not personally ever traveled to Ukalam. There are limited expeditions that are allowed there, and I have not had that opportunity. Some of our professors, however, have traveled to Ukalam in the past.
Do they have things that they've brought back, information, studies, journals, stuff like that from traveling there? Is there anything interesting they found?
Oh, of course, we have many such items in our archives. But what specifically is it you wish to know about Ukalam that could help us tremendously in narrowing down the field of search?
We have found we found some writings that were in a mysterious, an unknown language that have former encounters have found that it has only been in Ukalam.
That's most interesting. Linguistics, lost languages. Yes, yes, very, very exciting. I think I could. Yes, I can think of at least a few professors who could be probably helpful in finding that sort of information.
And if possible, we'd like to have information, any information that you have about Halquim's and his expedition, if you could call them that, in Ukalam.
What's your opinion about Professor Zahn? We've heard a couple of varied opinions about this guy.
Professor Zahn, I'm not aware of any Professor Zahn here at the university.
Halquim.
He wasn't
He wasn't a professor. He wrote a book. He did some archaeologically.
Yes. Do you have a copy
Archaeological
of the
find.
pyramids of Ukalam?
Pyramid people of Ukalam.
Oh, sorry, pyramid peoples of Ukalam.
I wrote it down.
I don't know, but we could certainly check the library once we get to the university. The name does seem slightly familiar, though.
Can I insight check him to see if he's like faking this slightly? Like, is this something he seems a little bit more familiar with than he's letting on, or
Sure, go ahead.
type scenario?
Make me an insight check.
Okay.
It should be actually, it's probably sense motive. Yeah.
Okay, so I was like, I don't have that one. 2. He seems fine. I'm a little distracted with being back on the home planet right now. But I did write down the name of the book for you guys. You're welcome.
Well, that's the kind of check you need to make in the dice tower.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I mean, I'm more than happy to roll it again.
Okay. So yeah, he seems excited, helpful. He doesn't seem to be hiding anything or holding anything back.
He seems pretty cool, guys. Like, I mean, I'm just, here's the name of the book. I am enjoying the surroundings. It's been a while since I've been here, so just,
How do we check and make sure he's not part of the corpse fleet? I'm kidding.
But I think the skin is a dead giveaway.
Dead.
And the antenna, probably.
Dead.
Yes,
We didn't.
I think I know exactly who to take you to. When we arrive at the university, I shall take you to Professor Muhali. Professor Muhali is the head of the Linguistic Anthropology Department. Her office is in Alcima Carre Hall.
these are all really big words to try and write down.
Lead the way.
Yep, we're happy. So you just seem really eager to be a part of this. I mean, you tag along with a lot of Starfinders. Are we, is this usual thing for you?
Do you owe Chiskis something?
No, I have had the opportunity to work with some Starfinders in the past, and it has always been a most exciting. The Starfinders tend to go to the types of places where well, the university typically will not allow us to go due to various dangers. So it's an opportunity to learn things that we wouldn't normally have access to. It's most exciting.
So the Professor Muhali could approve for such transportation to, so say, Ukalam, for example.
That is possible. Yes. I mean, it would take some coordination with the government, but I believe that should the head of the Kabrat University of Xenoarchaeology and Xenoanthropology's Linguistic Anthropology Department make such a request to the government, that it would be likely to be heard favorably.
That is a mouthful.
Here, we finally arrived at the university. Driver, yes, if take us, yes, left here, left, and then 2 rights. No, not the next right. After that, yeah, yes, there. Thank you. Yes, if you stop here. And
Definite directions.
you disembark from the taxi, and you step out onto a manicured lawn in front of this large 8-story building. And you know, the architecture of the university is interesting. It's lots of, you know, almost sculpted glass buildings, and Welos is, you know, excitedly speaking to you and showing you the way. Yes, Dr. Mahali's office is in here. Please follow me. But each of you make me a perception check.
In the tower, or
Yes, please. All right, Zost. And I think we need one more. All right, Zost. You notice that as you're approaching the building, like, you can see it's got kind of large glass double doors, and inside, even though it's a little bright outside and you can't quite, you know, see clearly into the building, it looks like there's quite a crowd in the lobby of the building that you're being directed to. Like, probably much larger a crowd than you would expect for a university lobby. But Welos is...
Are there any sort of events happening on campus today?
No, nothing that I'm aware of.
that's quite a crowd for a university hall.
And as you point that out, you know, Welos is getting close to the door and he's opening it. He's like, yes, that is a little unusual. But he opens the door, and as he opens the door, it's kind of loud. There's a lot of people standing around in the hallway. They all seem to be clustered around the receptionist area, and there's, you know, they all seem to be talking at once.
Can we hear what they're saying? They're all kind of, I mean, can we make out anyone saying anything?
They're kind of all talking over each other. You can't really tell what's going on, but Welos is still like guiding you in that general direction.
Is anyone like pointing or looking in a general direction? Like, are we heading towards the direction they're looking?
Do they look angry or like upset?
Aridens is going to turn to the closest person to them, and in Castrovalian just ask, excuse me, what's going on here?
And who are you asking?
The closest person to me?
Okay. Like, not in the group. Like,
The random
Right,
civilian.
No, just the closest Lashunta to me, just like, hey, what's going on?
and they look at you and go, are you at the university?
You like, they like look down at their self with all the weapons and stuff and go, yes?
Oh, excellent. Would you care to give a statement on Dr. Labian's 21-2?
Oh, I am not with that kind of, like, with the university. I don't give statements.
Well, yes, obviously we can give you a statement.
Oh, no. Eden,
What was
let's
that?
go.
What was that name again?
Dr. Fabian's 21-2.
Yeah, let me. I'm trying to type it out for you.
I feel like it was a bit narrow-minded, to be honest. But, you know, his process of development was pretty
Eden,
spot on.
please.
So, having like this person, you now recognize as some type of journalist.
Some kind of reporter. Yeah.
Yeah, and they've now latched on to you since you said you were with the university, and like 3 or 4 more of them then turn to you. It's like, oh, you're through the university. Can you help us get in? Can you tell us what's been going on? Can you tell us why Dr. Labian said what he said? And they start peppering you with questions.
Aridin is going to start like backing up towards like the doors of the hall, hopefully pulling the crowd away from the receptionist desk, letting everyone else able to move through. And my like what would be bluff? My bluff is a -1, so here we go. So Aridin's is gonna start saying things like be very just saying things that are very circular without actually saying anything. And so they're gonna say like so the university doesn't want to be able to infer or, you know, go with anything without going through the proper channels heretofore recognized by anything and such.
The journalists quickly figure out that you're just trying to like stonewall them and distract them, so they just turn around and ignore you and go back to the receptionist.
Did it give everyone enough time to get through?
It did not. But it did give Waylos a chance to get up there and talk to the receptionist. And he comes back to you and says, I don't know exactly what is going on here.
I do. Who is Dr. Aliban is? And what is the 21-2?
Well, Dr. Labian's 21-2 is one of the professors of xenoanthropology here. It appears that he was giving a lecture and may have made some rather incendiary comments. It has certainly drawn the attention of the media, and poor Akimsi over there is just overwhelmed. He can't let us through until we do something about these media folks. He's trying to get assistance from the deans and the publicists, but no one's responding. He can't let any of them upstairs, and if he lets us through, he's afraid someone will try to sneak in with us. So we're gonna have to do something to help him.
Is there such thing
as,
and Arodin puts up air quotes, campus security?
Well, yes, there is, but...
All right, everybody, we're with campus security. We're going to need everybody to wait outside. And they're going to pull out this big-ass sniper rifle that they have. And this is a pure bluff. This is just an intimidation.
Okay, well, that's certainly one strategy, so that's what Aridin's doing.
Oh, man, I'm bad at these charisma things.
You really are. I was just curious why you were the one trying them.
Can
different idea.
I don't know. Because the reporters have me flustered.
Nibbles would like to look around and see if there's a data jack or something in this area. Like a wall panel or something.
I mean, there's kind of like your typical display screens, you know, notice boards, CCTV type stuff.
Something that might be connected to a local network?
Well, it's going to be, you know, effectively all Wi-Fi at this point, so you could connect to the university's infosphere.
Okay.
Captain, maybe you should try.
I won't do much better than you.
Oh,
Ask
who's our
Corey.
charismatic
She's
person?
I have an
Corey.
idea. I have
Corey,
an
you should
idea.
try.
So
I
I
don't know
know
who's our face.
I have.
Edith, you're good with crowds, like all those
thing-
kids that you have.
Okay. So I know that we can do something like telepathic. I don't know if we can do multiple people, but I have an idea and I want to try it and I'm just gonna go for it. Corey's gonna look.
You're just gonna go for it. You're not gonna describe it first.
Well, yeah.
That's
So is there a back door? Like I assume there's some sort of back door somewhere around here. And like
Yeah, I mean, this is a fairly large building. There's definitely other entrances, but
so I'm gonna kind of go to like the entrance area. Yes, buddy. We'll go find him. Okay, bye. So I'm gonna go to the I don't know, like an area, and I'm gonna say, "Look, Dr. Albeans is trying to escape through the back door," and she's gonna see if she can get some of them to herd out a different entrance for their scoop, and then behind them close the door, if possible.
okay. So you're trying to cause a distraction. Are you using any special abilities to do that, or are you just trying to trick them, basically?
Maybe a bluff. I mean, maybe diplomacy if that's a thing, because that's a really high score. But probably more of a bluff. I'm guessing.
Yeah, what you're describing is more of a bluff. I guess I'm asking, do you have any sort of magic or technological devices?
I was gonna try and use her like the telepathy that she has to like get into people's minds, so it's like sounds like multiple people are saying it and not just her. Like they hear it in their mind, but since it's so loud in here, it's like they can't tell it's in their mind.
Well,
we...
basically everyone you're dealing with is at Lashunta, so.
So that's totally normal.
I have an idea if I could aid her.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Although
Okay,
I'm not sure if it'll actually like.
Well, I'll put it this way:
work
this
with
is
how.
effectively this is going to be a skill check. So you guys are going to have to make a couple of successful skill attempts to.
Well, I had a spell that I figured I could try to use.
Okay. So if you want to use a spell of some kind to assist her, that would certainly help her.
I have ghost sound, which
Okay.
I can make any noise. I don't know if they'll be able to hear it over how much noise they're making, but I want to like.
I mean, it's just really too bad that she specifically said she didn't want to talk this over. She just wanted to try it. So.
Well, okay, guys. I mean, like I was gonna try it, like as in, I'm gonna go.
Oh, so you did want to talk it over.
Maybe
Well,
like a.
while Corey is acting on it, Zost is telepathically speaking to the rest of the party, planning something.
Way to go, Zost. One up me. It's cool. No, it's fine.
Oh, you're giving us the distraction we need to plan something.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll do what I can with it.
I notice what Corey's doing, and I want to use ghost sound to create the sound of footsteps running to make it seem like he's actually like actively like darting out the door.
Okay. So you cast that spell, and I will I will lower the DC for what Corey needs to do to help distract the journalists.
Yay.
So that's going to be a DC 15. I guess bluff check in this case.
You can do it.
I can do this. Do you want me to roll the dice tower or
Can the rest
So
of
you roll
us
this one
like
out, yeah.
actually like start whispering to like aid her? No,
Oh
No.
never mind.
Corey, she's just not one for the planning. She's
But you're
diplomatic.
a charismatic person.
I have a
All right.
+4.
All right.
You got a +4.
Plan B. Eden has a smoke grenade.
Yes. Okay. Here's.
I like
here's
this
my-
plan B.
So
Okay,
at this point, you guys have been like trying to come up with ideas for what you can do, and it's been, let's say, I don't know, about 5 minutes. You tried impersonating a university official, and they kind of listened to you, but then they just like, this guy's an idiot. And then you tried to like scare them by brandishing a gun, and they were like, he's already impersonated one university official. He's not campus security.
Well, I tried.
Did he fire?
No.
No
No, he
fire.
just brandished a sniper rifle.
Wow. Okay, not going all the way. Okay.
They said don't make the violence.
Yeah, it's not
We
technically
can't do
violence.
that.
And then you had Corey trying to, like, guys, he's getting away. He's over there. And at this point, they're just ignoring you.
Okay, yeah, they're just not listening to us.
Okay.
We
smoke
need
grenade,
something
smoke
bigger.
grenade. Smoke grenade?
Well, wait, Ghost, what was your idea in our minds? I mean, I'm all for a smoke
Is there like
grenade.
seriously? Is there like a fire alarm we could pull?
Yes, there's definitely fire
All right.
alarms in this building.
Nibbles
That's
and
what
Eden,
Nibbles
get on
was
it.
going for.
Hey,
'Cause
where's
Lucas
the
never
nearest
told
vent?
us what Nibbles was trying to do.
Where's the
Oh, I
nearest
figured you guys would just have fun with it.
Please,
Well,
come on.
now we need you to pull the fire alarm.
Okay, I'll set up the smoke grenade. I just really want to use it.
And fire alarm. Let's do it.
Okay, where's the nearest vent?
Yeah, because the smoke means fire. So if you do the smoke grenade and somebody pulls the fire alarm, then they'll be like, "Ah, we're all gonna die."
But it might mean
Just
that,
make sure we're up against the walls so we don't get trampled.
it might mean that the Professor Muhali leaves her office.
So then we can talk to him.
That's
But then we don't know where she is.
Okay, well, we don't pull the fire alarm. We just do the smoke grenade, and I say we
Hey,
just put it in the
can
vent.
Nibbles only set off the
Okay.
fire alarm in this room?
So, Eden, make me a flat intelligence check. Well, intelligence or wisdom, either one.
Ooh.
woo-woo!
All right. You're
Nice.
100% confident that if you set off a smoke alarm inside, or a smoke grenade inside this building, it will trigger the fire alarms and they will evacuate the building.
Want them to evacuate the whole building?
I mean,
Like, we just want these people out in the lobby. We don't want them out of the whole building because we need to be in the building.
but people are gonna come back in once they realize there's not actually a fire.
Will that take? Especially if there's a smoke grenade going off.
Corey, you think you could hold those?
Like in your mind, you hear Zoe's voice peeking out. If we were to force some, if not most of the crowd back out through the doors, you think you could hold those doors shut and barricade them out while we deal with the receptionists?
What do you mean?
I could. Yeah, I could do that. I could hold doors. That's what I'm here for. That, you know.
We could try to just herd them like sheep.
Like
Oh.
physically push them?
Well, it seems that these discussions are going nowhere. If they're refusing to see reason in the words that we bring them, and they're refusing to succumb to our threats of violence,
We could show them actual violence.
Not violence. Just gives them a push. No violence. Or
Okay.
else we might.
What if we just set off the fire alarm with no smoke grenade? Because then they're just like, oh, false alarm, everyone comes back into the building, but we're already there. Or we could like keep the reporters outside after the alarm goes off.
I guess
So
it's
I'm going to take this opportunity as a DM to remind everyone that we're playing in a futuristic, technologically advanced setting. So think less like what would happen
Yeah,
if you're
I'm
playing
talking about
D&D.
Nibbles hacking the computers and
Or no,
setting off
I
the
get
fire
that.
alarms.
But think more about if you were to go out in a group today to somewhere on your local university, trying to meet a professor, and pulled the fire alarm. What do you think they would do? Would they let you then go talk to the professor?
I could fake a heart attack.
Oh, they won't know we did it because Nibbles is going to secretly do it.
I heard that if you pull those fire alarms, it sprays out like a blue color all over your hands.
I'd never.
I have one more idea. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm really diplomatic. So I think possibly if I could get up to the reception desk and use their over the intercom speaker thingy and let them all know that Dr. Alabians has left for lunch and will not be back for 2 hours. They will all clear out for at least 2 hours.
They're not going to
And
listen to us. I think Ben made that
But
very clear.
I have a +9 diplomacy.
Yeah, it's a little late for that, though.
Yeah, okay. But, like, I could be behind the desk and sit there and, you know,
Okay, but like if Nibbles
coming
is
over the
if
intercoms.
Nibbles is stealthy and like hacks the computer and sets off the fire alarm, like they're not gonna know it was our group. We just go outside, and then like we let our professor friend lets us in like ahead of the reporters, like when the all clear is given, and we just go try to find the professor.
How stealthy is Nibbles and hacking computer systems? Because we were able to trace files back to a specific company that didn't want to be found.
I mean, this is like Nibble's specialty, right?
Just being oddly quiet right now.
Oh, what? Sorry.
I'm volunteering you to stealthily go hack their computer systems and set off the fire alarm. That way they don't know it was us.
Yeah, you can do that.
Casually.
So I go find a dark corner and I try to tap into the network and see if I can set off a localized fire alarm just for the lobby, while also going on to the speakers in the main area saying, "This is not a drill. Please leave the premises immediately," and it's going to be localized to the lobby.
Yeah.
Okay. That is going to be a DC 23 computers check.
Okie dokie.
Yeah!
Damn.
See, I knew this was a good idea.
Our first success.
It's your first double-digit roll on this. Okay, so Nibbles, quietly sitting over there in the corner, has accessed the computer system for the building, has found that there's very little trouble in getting into the security and fire prevention systems subnet. You've temporarily disabled the alarms on all the other floors and all the other areas besides the lobby. And you then trigger a test of the fire alarm system. The lights and the alarm in the lobby start to go off. Several of the reporters start looking around like, oh shit, seriously? But seeing that the receptionist is also kind of looking around a little startled and starts going, okay, everyone, we need to, orderly, we're going to have to leave the area. Please, if you'll just, exit through the front door. And, the announcement over the speakers is doing the same thing. So everyone starts trundling out. Okay, fine. And what do you guys?
Common, like, grab the receptionist. Grab the receptionist.
Hold on. I have an idea. So what we could do is like we could be like holding the doors open for all of the reporters and stuff like that, and then Nibbles can turn off the alarm right as the last reporter leaves, and we just close the doors and maybe lock them.
And we lock the doors, and I said it's a really big room. I'd be happy to lock them and barricade them and hold them closed like I was holding.
Let's see, what sort of skill check would that be?
And then whoever has high diplomacy could be like, there we go, I'll clear it out. This is as asked.
All right, who wants to make me an engineering check for successfully locking the doors?
Aridin can do that. I've got a +7.
I'll do anything to that.
Okay, so you're getting all the people out. No one's really expecting the doors to be closed and locked. So we'll call this a DC 15 engineering check.
Oh, I'm scared. All right. Here we go. Yes!
Yeah.
All right. So, you successfully heard all these reporters and everybody out, and right as the last of the reporters go, someone has grabbed the Kimsey, the receptionist, and Walos, and has let everybody else go out first. And then Aridin, very swiftly, closes the doors, quickly hits the like the manual lock, as well as like a keypad lock to lock the main doors. And at that point, Nibbles cuts the alarm off, and who is then going to turn and explain things to the receptionist.
Cora will do that. Ha!
All right, make me a diplomacy check.
Oh man.
Nibbles would like to do one more thing while I'm in the system.
I mean,
What the heck, Rolls? What the
can
heck?
somebody assist her and give her like a +2, right? That's how this game works.
Sure.
Someone help me.
Who can get at
mean,
least
I
a 10
can
on
How about the other one,
diplomacy?
Shanta?
Zost is gonna try and.
Plus
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Brian. What were you saying?
Well, I've got a -1 charisma, so feel free.
Yeah, I'll assist her.
Yeah, what? Why didn't you just do it? I mean, you have a +3, you got 23.
So,
No, it's cool.
16.
Hey, 16 is still good.
Yep. 16 will be sufficient.
Cool,
All right.
it's just-
And Nibbles, what did you want to do?
While I'm reconnecting the system after turning it off, I'm reconnecting it to the building. I'd like to see if I can pull a map of the complex.
Sure. You're able to get a rough schematic of each of the floors. Basically, like the directory information that says, "Oh, you know, this
This
wing,
this
this
person's
wing."
office and this person's thing. Yeah. Cool, perfect.
To be fair, I guess it's not super believable that a grandma just pulled a fire alarm.
All right. Lobby is secure, Captain.
All right. So, Corey, what do you say to the receptionist?
It's all right, dearie. It's all right. This was just to clear out the riffraff. You're all safe now, and they won't bother you for at least a little bit longer.
All right.
And the captain nods, and she's like, "Oh, okay, it's fine then."
The captain just gives him that kind of Fonzie, like, "Hey."
She winks, and it's done.
Oh well, thank you. That was unexpected, but I'm glad you got them out. I hope the dean and the publicist will be down here shortly. They can handle this. I'm not equipped for this. But well, once now, thank you. Yes, you needed to go see. Who was it that you needed to see? We needed to see Professor Muhali, if at all possible. Oh, okay. Give me just one moment. Let me check. And the receptionist goes back, pulls up the kind of the professor's calendars, says, "Well, Professor Muhali is actually very busy at the moment, but well, I think I kind of owe you one for getting all those people out of here. I can, yes, I can squeeze in an appointment. I can move that. Yes, I can get you an appointment in about an hour. I'll have to do some rearranging, but I'm sure Professor Muhali won't mind. So, yes, thank you very much. Waylas, if you'd like to lead them up to Professor Muhali's floor, I'm sure that she'll be with him in an hour.
Are we gonna have to clear out the riffraff again in an hour?
No,
We're upstairs.
He's letting you guys go into the building and
Oh, we
upstairs.
get oh, okay, cool. Yeah, let's go hang out in the lobby and get some snacks. Like not this lobby, but like there's the
Fourth floor lobby.
Yeah, is there a vending machine?
Yes, you can find a couple of vending machines.
Ben, when I tapped into their system, did I notice any countermeasures or anything when I was going through?
Not for what you were looking for. No. This wasn't like a secured system for anti-hacking. No one thought they were going to be hacking into the fire alarm system.
Gotcha.
And
I mean,
would I know?
it's protected, but it's not countermeasured.
Gotcha. Would I know if a complex like this would have a sophisticated defense system against checking security cameras?
Well, so this system would not, from what I can recall, I don't think like hacking isn't. I mean, it's a thing, but it's not really a thing in Starfinder. So there's not like countermeasures and security blanket. It's more just the systems will be secured, and if you are successful in your computer's checks, you can describe how you crack into it any way you want to.
Gotcha.
So this isn't very cyberpunk. There's no like active defenses for hacking.
Boo. Well, there are, because the mechanic has a skill that lets them bypass those things.
Well,
countermeasures.
Okay, I guess I should say there.
And there's a DC.
Not for the
That's your
publicly available
countermeasures,
map
right,
of
is
the university.
DC, right?
I'm sure there are some systems that have it, and it could be things like certain terminals are, booby trapped or whatever.
Secured, yeah.
But yeah, I don't think like just in general accessing something. I think it functions more like our stuff function. It's like if you have the skills to get past the protective stuff, it's not like they can then send something back that fries your computer and kills you.
Probably not behind too many firewalls to find the map of the public university.
Right.
Yeah, it's probably on the university homepage, honestly.
Okay. So you guys are escorted upstairs. You find the vending machines. There's the Castrovellian equivalent of coffees, and if anybody wants some.
Sure.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. We're gonna hit the donuts and the coffee. And
It's a bit hot for coffee, don't you think?
True university
this is perfect
experience
weather for
Zost.
Your insides feel as miserable as your outsides?
it kind of regulates the temperature, so you don't feel it so much on the inside.
We've
The
got
life
some
of an
time. I
academic.
think I'm going to take off this graphite armor.
Well, I mean, the buildings are somewhat.
They got AC.
Just imagine that it's like you're living in, I don't know, Arizona or
What's that like?
or maybe
yeah.
even like Louisiana. It's hot, but people just kind of get used to it, and so there's air conditioning, but it's not set to like 65. It's set to like 75.
Right.
But after you wait about an hour, you do.
Oh, while we're waiting, is there like any pictures on the walls or any sort of like history type stuff we might come across? Just like, I don't know, like, hey, here's all the pictures of the people who were employee of the month, like just kind of anything interesting in that kind of manner that we might gaze upon as we're just kind of chilling here.
Yeah, you see like pictures of the staff, the different professors. You see some displays where they have like prominent former members, like plaques and things like that.
Could I ask Nibbles to go online and get the statement that Dr. Alabian said that had all the
21-2.
Yeah, Dr. Alabian's 21-2.
I should be able to pull it up.
I'm also curious about what this doctor said that is so rousing to the news.
Sure.
Use your gadgets. Go gadget Nibbles.
I do that.
I do that.
I want to click Google, and then there's a little search box.
So yeah. So all your
I mean, you guys all have like comm units that can access.
I don't know how
apparently
to get to my emails though.
the main
I'm a
website for
grandma.
the university. It should be right on there.
I changed my username. I forgot my password.
So we've got a you find a couple of news stories, and they are not on the university websites. What you're able to track down is that there was a lecture scheduled by Dr. Alabian's 21.2 for last night. And there's a couple of stories that have come out about the inflammatory language and incendiary nature of the lecture that was given. And while it doesn't have a whole lot of direct quotes or anything, you get the general gist that what Alabian's 21.2 was saying was effectively that from a logical anthropological perspective, the La Junta city-states during the millennia-long wars really should have just gone ahead and eliminated the Formian species as a whole. And that was truly the only logical stance to have taken during the war, especially given the costliness, the length of time, the recurring nature of it, and those sorts of things. So given that the La Junta city-states and the Formian colonies signed their peace agreement 30 years ago, not exactly in keeping with the spirit of the times, I guess you would say.
This is such a random time for him to spot out and say something like that. Like, it's kind of, we're like, oh, it's over and done with. And he's like, oh, by the way, this is my opinion.
By the way, this is my final solution. That's right, I am comparing him to Hitler.
Studies are funded by the university?
He is a member of the faculty.
I'm going to write a very strongly worded letter at some point in the future.
So that you have a feeling that was probably what everything was about.
Why everyone's a little upset about that. I keep changing my accents, guys. I'm sorry. I'm working on it.
It's your voice box. It's on the fritz.
Yeah. Keep switching tones. But,
okay. Anything else you want to do while you're waiting?
Nah, I think we're good.
All right. Well, Waylos has been up there with you, waiting, and after the hour passes and the time for your appointment shows up, he goes and knocks on the door. Excuse me, Professor Mahali, are you free now? And the professor waves him in, and he waves each of you in. And as you walk in, you see that the office is clean, roomy, and orderly. A large desk stands imposingly before a broad window that offers a charming view of a nearby park, and a small table in one corner has a quartet of chairs arranged evenly around it. Near the door is a wide examination table covered with broken fragments of stone, many of which bear incomplete words or letters written in a spiraling text. Several tiny fountains throughout the room burble soothingly and shimmer with soft light.
And there's a dog.
And behind the desk, you see this La Junta. And she speaks up and welcome. Please, come in. Waylos, would you like to introduce me? And yes, Professor. These are members of the Starfinder Society. They have come from Absalom Station.
our friend Chiskis sent them here. He thought that we might be able to provide them some assistance in their tasks. I know that we have both benefited greatly from coordinating and working with the Starfinders before, so I thought it best to introduce them. But I shall leave them here with you, and if they need anything, if you need anything, please just let me know. I will wait outside. Yes, thank you, Professor. Thank you.
And Waylos leaves.
Ah, yes, Starfinders. It is so good to work with you. So tell me, what brings you here?
The symbols on her desk, are they the same ones that we're looking for?
They are not.
Different. Okay.
But being as she is a professor of linguistic anthropology, seeing, old
Probably something
languages.
nefarious.
So,
I mean, I guess I can.
We have encountered what we figure is an ancient, primarily unknown language on a rock from in an asteroid from drift space, and we were wondering if you were familiar with the language. And I'm pretty sure I'm sure we procured some images of what we saw in the console.
oh yeah,
And then
Yeah,
I
you-
show her like datapad or whatever.
Well, this certainly does look interesting, and I would most like to help you, but I hate to say it, but I'm really not in a position to assist you at the moment. Nor can I instruct anyone in the department to assist you. I have to resolve this debacle that has befallen us.
Advocating for genocide tends to have that reaction.
I see that you must have heard. Well, yes, then you
Corey
can.
told us.
I know different nipples.
Well, you can imagine the uproar this has caused within the university, and especially within the department. I have spent the last several hours, practically all night and all morning, trying to coordinate and come up with some way to handle this. And I really can't spend any time or effort focusing on anything else at the moment. If you could help me deal with this situation, then I would gladly help you with what you're requesting. But I simply can't dedicate the time or resources to look into this for you until that time.
Do you have any reason, like, do you know why, where this came from at such time? I mean, it's been, decades. Is there a reason to bring it up now at all times? Did something recently happen? Can you give us a little bit more information so maybe we can possibly help you better?
Well, you would just have to know Professor Alabian's 21-2. He, well, he prizes his logic above all else. He is... Give me just a second, I'm trying to find the term. He is a contemplative. I do not know if you're aware of the contemplatives, but they make excellent scholars. But they are not the most culturally sensitive. And Professor Alabian's 21-2, well, he has been examining a war from nearly a millennium ago. One of the many wars between the Formians and the Lashunta. And he has determined, in his logic, that the appropriate response to that war from more than 1,000 years ago, at the time, would have been for the Lashunta to simply wipe out the Formians. Now,
that sort of language was not unknown in times past. The sort of proposals were not unknown in times past, but for the last 30 years, we have successfully had peace, and we are making significant progress in the relations between Formians and the Junta. Now he is fomenting hate crimes under the guise of pure logic and anthropology. This is not what the university stands for, but that's not the public now sees us as championing it. I've been forced to place him on academic leave, and I've restricted his access to all university resources until we can clean this up. Now, as far as what you could do, well, if you could find some way to get Alabians 21-2 to listen, well, he is not listening to any of us, then, well, to put it plainly, he hasn't quite violated enough protocols of the university to be dismissed, and as much as I would love to fire him otherwise, but if he would apologize, then I think the media would accept that. If you can convince him to do that, I could handle the rest, and we could put this behind us. But we need to have it happen quickly. He can't wait 2 or 3 days or weeks or months before making some sort of apology. It would turn into a disaster if we don't get him to do this quickly.
The other option is we frame them for something bad and give them a reason to fire them.
I'm afraid again, as much as I would like to see him gone, for
Plan B.
Sorry, we're still trying to teach Eridan jokes. It's a little difficult.
Is it? They keep saying it's inflection, but I don't know how to do it.
Yes, your delivery's a bit flat for joking.
So we gotta go tell this doctor to apologize for something he believes in, on something that happened a long, long time ago that he's more informed on than we are, and I don't see a problem with this. It should go smoothly. It should be fine.
I think I've heard the shorthand for contemplative. If it's what I believe it to be, I don't think he's going to be one easy to change his mind.
Oh, definitely not.
Yes, I doubt you would be able to change his mind, but perhaps you can convince him of the advantages of an apology.
Which are?
Well, if he doesn't apologize, and this causes too much more dismay or distraction to the university, then I may be forced to dismiss him. And that will just turn into trouble for me and him both.
If you believe that what he did was truly wrong, why not just dismiss him and be done with it?
There are protocols that one must
I
follow.
fully disagree with his stance, but as one of the professors and as a respected academic, he has the right to make these arguments. It is the challenge is that while he may have the right, the perception of those arguments is, well, it's a whole different thing. It is a careful balance.
Should.
Exactly. Academic freedom is not a license to do just anything. One must still have discretion. He could perhaps have made the same argument without making it in such an inflammatory way.
Should be a piece of cake. I don't see why we can't do this. Let's get it done so we can get our stuff done, because our stuff can't wait days or weeks either. So let's get after it, team.
Yes, I would greatly appreciate it. And again, if we can put this behind us, then I would be most interested in helping you with your tasks.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to that and wish us the best because we're gonna need all the luck we can get. Let's go convince the guy he's, kind of wrong.
Apparently, we don't need to convince him he's wrong, just that it looks bad.
Well, no, we don't have to convince him he's wrong. We just have to convince him to apologize for something he completely believes in. Should be a piece of cake, guys. I mean,
Great enthusiasm, Corey. Let's go.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah.
Thank you. Walos can show you to the professor's study. So, as you leave Dr. Mohali's office, yeah, there you go. That's exactly what I needed, Ryan.
Just need to cover their asses.
So,
there we go. We print that out and hand it to him. We're done.
Also, P.S. This guy's a dick.
All right, so...
And her half-ass response almost co-signed genocide, just saying. She's kind of racist.
No, she fully disagrees, but she respects the academic freedom to make the argument.
She also said he might be right if he had argued it in a less inflammatory way, which is basically saying, I could see what he means.
I think it was more of a
academic
regardless of if he is right or not.
Yeah, that was the intent. Is right or wrong doesn't really matter on this one. While I believe he's wrong, it's kind of like someone who a professor of history who studies the Third Reich. It's like,
yeah, but when they start arguing that Hitler was correct, you stop listening to them.
True.
Right? Am I wrong?
No, you're correct.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying.
So you're saying all the Shuntas are like Hitler?
I'm just saying fire the guy.
Well, again, we don't know specifically what he said. Because, again, he may have tiptoed that line of, given, that it happened 1,000 years ago, and in that situation, this was probably the more correct path to try to take. But, anyway. So.
It's just like 1,000 years from now saying Hitler was right.
Hey. But because I enjoy history and have listened and read a lot of different books, put it this way. In 1,000 years, somebody will write it won't even take that long. Someone, maybe 100 years from now, 200 years from now.
People say that stuff about Genghis Khan. I get it.
That's exactly the point I was going to make. Is there books you can go out right now and get that talk about the
Alexander the Great? I get it. It. I'm just saying, we don't say they were right.
Anyway. Okay, so Walos takes you down a floor and over to a different office. And basically says, this is Professor Olabian's 21-2's office. I believe it best if I let you handle this. I think if I were to be there, the professor might react differently.
Yeah, best to let strangers tell him how to run his life. It's smarter that way.
Especially heavily armed strangers.
So,
that was another joke.
So before we go in there, do we have a game plan on how to handle this?
Oh no, you make a good point.
Talk to the racist.
Yeah.
How do we convince a racist that he's wrong, but he doesn't have to admit he's wrong?
We don't convince him he's wrong. we convince him to apologize because it's much easier to save face than to lose. It's better to save face than
You
to lose your
just tell him
job.
he's gonna lose his academic funding, his tenure, and his pension.
Money is a huge motivator.
Okay, so that's all we have to do.
And then if that doesn't work, we break his fucking legs.
We will not do that.
Oh,
I'm better.
Okay,
better
we'll
at
break
that.
one of his legs. Sounds like a plan. I see where you're going with this, Captain.
I mean, I still say we just plant drugs on him and get him fired. Like,
You
None
have
of us
drugs?
drugs.
I
Yes,
mean,
mine
Eden
don't.
can get us some drugs.
What does an
Eden
android
has
need drugs for?
children.
Why do you think
Eden had a career before she had children.
I didn't feel drugs.
Just because you're a parent doesn't mean you can't have drugs.
Not all Yosoki are drug dealers, Saradin.
I didn't even know that was a stereotype.
Oh, you haven't heard that?
No.
Just the ones with
Well,
the
then-
mustaches.
And the accent that talks like this.
You know, all of you guys are a bunch of douchebags, except for Kore.
So where did you learn all those gun skills again?
I learned them being a mercenary. Look, I don't know why we're doing this. Can we just go beat up our racists right now? That seems much more.
I totally didn't run drugs. No, never did that.
I never ran drugs. I never consciously ran drugs.
Consciously.
She was drugged up while running drugs. So
Oh yeah,
So you guys ready to knock on the door?
yeah, let's
Yeah.
take care of this. Let's do it. We can do it.
Aerodin will look at the captain and say, I won't talk.
Might be better.
What was his name again?
Uh,
Dr. Labian.
Dr.
No,
Where did I put it?
Dr.
Labian's
Professor
21.
Alabian's 21-2.
We should probably call him
21
doctor
is
because
part of
sometimes
his name.
a little. He's his doctor.
Professor
So is he an
Racist.
Well,
android?
seeing that we're in a university setting, we should use professor. Don't want to insult him when we're trying to get on
Like,
get him
do we
on our
call him
side.
Doctor Professor? Because sometimes they get offended if you don't call
We're
him.
not German.
Well, no. I think it's just
To
doctor.
Amanda's point, I had a professor in college where if you called her professor, she would correct you and say doctor.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
she
I was
worked
just
very
thinking
hard
more
on her
along
doctorate,
lines of
and
what
you're going
The
to refer to her as
Hangover.
doctor.
You know, the hangover, the dentist, he's a doctor. You know, just you work
he was a
hard, get that status. He was
I
a
don't-
dentist. He was a doctor.
I don't
I'm
think
just
the
saying-
professor's a dentist.
In anyone, having been around many professors / doctors in my time, any of them who are like, I worked hard for that doctor, I expect you to call me doctor, is an asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how we know it's
No
an
disagreements. No disagreements.
He, we already kind of know he might not be the best person to work with since, he's a racist, but I don't know.
Now,
I
see,
just
and here
don't
you
want
guys
to
go
sit
jump to conclusions. You haven't even met the guy yet.
He
We
advocated
know everything we
genocide.
need to know.
That does seem like a
Cass is
big
going to
deal.
knock on
let's go in and talk to Dr. Professor Labian's 21-2. Is he an android? That way they
No,
can know.
and the reason I specifically said, we're not German, is that in Germany, if you have a doctorate and you're a professor, you are a doctor professor.
Yeah, you are Dr. Professor.
If you've got 2 doctorates and you're a professor, you're a doctor professor.
Jesus.
No.
Yeah,
So we can
that's how
put
they
in
roll.
as a- Be safe, Dr. Professor Labian's 21-2.
All right, so
Is he
as
an
the door
android?
opens, you see dust and debris and discarded papers litter the floor of this disorganized office. A single chair stands in the corner, and the desk and shelves are crowded with books, scrolls, statuettes, and loose computer hardware. And in the office, you see Professor Labian's 21-2.
Oh.
The
What
fuck is
that?
I was
that?
gonna Why am I gonna go talk to a brain? I don't even have one.
Did Obi get there?
What is he?
He's a
Like, what race?
contemplative.
I
Oh,
am
that's his. Oh, okay.
Well, we know that we can beat him up. I mean, if we're going to break, we just gotta flick the man.
You
How?
take his milk money.
Yeah.
How big is he? Like, is he the size of a brain, or is he like a human size with a massive brain on his head?
He's like human sized, and that
God.
like his body has atrophied and his brain is ginormous.
Okay. Okay.
Massive
he's,
size brain.
what I'm hearing is he's a giant nerd. All right.
We're in a university. They're all giant.
You're not.
And
It's okay. It's okay. I know how to handle these people.
as the door opens and he notices you, you hear telepathically
Ah.
him say, "Hello, what may I do for you?"
I'm gonna respond telepathically because it just comes more natural
Meet him at his level.
for Shuntas to talk telepathically than it is out loud. Not that it makes her sound smarter or anything. Good day, Professor Dr. Labians 21-2.
Good day. What may I do for you?
Yes, we came here on behalf of the university. We just I'm not gonna lie. I heard about your work, and I just have to say I appreciate what you do for the university, and I worry about the possibility that what you stated could put you in a difficult situation to where you might not be able to continue your study with the university should you continue on this path. And I'm not saying, any of it was wrong in any way. I just worry about making sure that the university still has the upstanding face that it's
Now,
known to
my
have.
middle-aged friend, if you'll just stop there for a moment.
Yeah,
Let me.
no, that's fine.
He's middle aged. Oh.
I'm
Yeah.
old.
So the issue we have here is that too many people in this university do not value logic strongly enough and let their feelings get in the way. The fact that I have been able to set aside any emotional or, well, sensitivity type concerns has made me a more rigorous and more dedicated analyst of our field. It speaks in all of my works. And I personally think it is ridiculous that they have placed me on academic suspension following my speech. I was giving a lecture, clearly argued, clearly articulated, logically sound, and it is most frustrating.
I'm going to say this one out loud because I just want to make sure everyone else hears what he's saying too, because I know I'm not the only person in the room and I'm not the best
we
equipped.
can hear him.
Oh, okay, so we're all just saying it telepathically, completely. If everyone's minds, I'm okay with that.
Can I?
But real quick, I just want to say, shit, I lost my thought process. You are definitely well equipped by not having emotions, which is why you are such a huge asset to this university. So that's the only reason we're coming to you today, is to make sure that something from the past that needed to be said, probably. However, you do have to take into account that everyone else does have emotions, and it could be a touchy subject for everyone else to hear. So perhaps we just go about it in a little bit more of a delicate manner, because not everyone is as well equipped to handle these truths as you are.
Well, at least you recognize that my emotional detachment provides clearer and more objective analysis. And
it can only help.
But I do not see any reason why I should have to recall or recant what I have clearly and logically defined and defended simply because it may have offended someone. If we let offense start dictating what is and isn't allowed for research and academia, we are lost.
But you also have to realize the people who who could be offended are the ones who fund and help, pay for these expeditions and these researches. And so we can't offend them because you need to be able to get the knowledge that they're able to procure with their funding. And if we offend the people who are funding us, then where does that leave us?
Yes, where does that leave us? I must admit that this academic suspension is, well, intolerable.
I mean, you're just stuck with this big brain, not able to study anything. That's not a world you want to live in. It's not
No,
ideal
it's
for
not.
anyone else. I mean, you're losing hours of research that the world needs, you know?
Well, you seem to be the most reasonable representative of this university that I've dealt with in the last 24 hours. Now,
You guys had good diplomacy.
Professor Mohali has suspended me, and barring the unlikely intervention by a dean, only she can undo this. Your convincing her to do so would allow me to help you. I assume you are here for a reason.
You're
If you,
definitely here for a reason, yes.
well, tell me why you're here, and perhaps we can come to an arrangement.
I would like to ask you a counter question. What is it that you specialize here at the university?
Well, I'm a xenoanthropologist, and have been here long enough to specialize in many areas. What areas interest you?
Linguistics?
Yes, I am quite competent in linguistics. Anything in particular?
I'm gonna show him the data pad.
Yes, yes, I recall these. These are the same sort of glyphs that. Oh, what was that fool's name? Ah, yes, Halquim Zahn. Yes, yes, I thoroughly reviewed his original notes some years back, and I dismissed them as drivel. But it was these do bear a striking resemblance to his notes. Perhaps that is what you're interested in.
Really, what we're interested in is being allowed onto Ukalam.
Well, I could perhaps arrange that. But I must say that, well, as I said, I reviewed the entirety of Zahn's original notes early in my time here as a faculty member, and to my considerable knowledge, only Dr. Solstarny has studied them more recently. Zahn's methodology was imperfect, catering to an uneducated reader's lexicon, fetishizing the exotic, and conveying a pathological love of his self-image as an adventurer, likely to earn money or as an elaborate mating ritual. As a result, his work is scientifically wanting and his conclusions doubtful. Nevertheless, his notes provide enough detail to hypothetically retrace his steps. It is possible, should I be restored to my access to the university's resources, that I could retrieve those notes and provide you information for how to retrace his steps, since you seem to be wanting to return to his area of exploration.
What was the name he mentioned? Dr. Solstani?
Yeah, Dr. Solstarny.
Solstar. And they recently went to Ukalam.
They have studied Zahn's work.
So,
Shit, we could just
okay,
bypass
so
the whole thing and go to
I
them, right?
understand that you obviously want to be reinstated so you can help us. However, that doesn't change the fact that if the people who fund the university don't receive an apology, they're no longer going to fund it, and so therefore you're not going to be able to research for much longer. Hence why we need the apology and able to be able to continue what we're doing. You know, If that makes sense, like we have to have that in order to move on from this whole scenario. As unfortunate as it may seem, that is the steps that has to be taken. Otherwise, the university lose face, and then they'll lose funding, and then you'll lose research, and you'll spend a lot more time without all these luxurious research papers to study and ridicule and pick apart piece by piece until you have your story on it put together so meticulously.
Well, I assume you're here on behalf of Dr. Mohali. If you are you here on behalf of Dr. Mohali?
She sent us over here, yes, to try and come to a reasonable agreement.
Well, I will say that intellectually, I find the prospect of making an apology to those who simply do not understand what I'm trying to explain to be less degrading than to be continued to be denied access to the resources of this university and the proper rights of my position.
Great, so we're on the
So-
same page, right? Like this all works out.
So I can issue an apology, but I need something from Dr. Mohali. 3 things, in fact.
Here.
Okay,
So
let
you
me get a
want
piece of paper.
to exchange one thing for 3 things, because that's like equivalent exchange.
I believe that the 3 things I'm asking for are well within the reason. You see, I am on track to attain tenure at this university in several more years, requiring practically twice as long as an observation period as a Lashunta would, I might add, likely because my assessors are compensating for inferiorities, real or perceived. This incident reflects an egregious stain on my record that challenges my advancement and scholarly recognition here. She must agree to erase this insult from my file. I have spoken with her about the matter, and her judgment is clouded by stress and emotion. If she truly cared about scholarly integrity, she would debate my assertions. Instead, she stoops to censorship in violation of the university's free speech principles. So, I will make an apology, a public apology should she wish it, but I need her to rescind my academic suspension. With that, restore my access to the university's restricted collections, and pardon this incident from my tenure review file. If she agrees to those terms, I will happily make the apology.
Rescinding his academic suspension, restoring access to the restricted collections of the university, and what was the third one?
Erase it from his tenor review.
Yeah, basically don't put it in his tenure review file.
Yeah.
Here's a counter agreement for you. We ask her to do this, but if this kind of incident ever happens again, she can, fire you. How does that sound? Because obviously you don't want to listen,
That's why she's the
you don't-
captain.
It's not that people aren't intellectually smart enough. The fact that you provided an argument, which is your opinion, and you are upset that people disagreed with. And
I'm not
rightfully
upset that
so.
anyone disagreed with it. What I'm upset with is that they have used this as a reason to strip me of my proper academic rights.
If you think about it in the long run, if the Formians heard of this, I imagine that, I don't know, tensions could rise again, another war.
Yes.
From-
I am sure that someone who tried to take my academic arguments out of context and apply them to the current situation as opposed to the situation 1,000 years ago, which is what my paper was based on, could perhaps be offended somehow.
I wouldn't say offended, but taking it up as a threat, more like. Because that's what it certainly sounds like.
I fail to see have a review of the situation from 1,000 years ago in a war that has been over for 1,000
So
years.
you keep saying.
Again, please take back to Professor Mahali that I will make the apology that she wants me to make on those 3 conditions. And should you be able to arrange this, I will then help you in acquiring and reviewing Queen Zan's notes, since that seems to be what your interest in this is.
Oh my god, I just want to. Okay.
Can Aridin say something to this guy as they're leaving?
You can say whatever you want.
I'm not. It's not something violent. He's just. Aridin's gonna look down at this guy, this man, and
Actually, up he floats. Just like
gonna look this sir eye to eye, and Aridin's gonna say, the descendants of the people that you were talking about eradicating still live to this day, and so your argument is that they should not exist. Logic cannot erase the emotion that triggers. It means you're wrong. And Aridin's gonna walk out the door.
I would have thought that an android would be more accepting of the logical imperatives.
Well, it seems you're wrong about a lot of things. We'll go
You
talk
know.
to Dr. Muhali.
Especially when it relates to, using logic and then saying, "Oh, I don't need emotion on it." It's a huge weak point to anything, When I'm dealing with my family, I don't use logic. I bring in emotion to it. Otherwise, my entire argument could be, put down. And also, the genocide of any kind of people is kind of like a huge fucking deal, and you don't want to, say, "Oh, genocide is okay," or whatever. You know what? Fuck you, man. I don't like you. Fuck you. I hope that you die. I hope that you die early. I'm not threatening you, but I hope you live a very short life. Goodbye. Flipping you off now, and he's gonna walk out.
Ben, can I just say you were playing this character?
Yeah, you made me hate this guy so much. God. Oh, he's like every alt-right motherfucker that I just want to strangle. Oh God.
But good job, Ben. Good job. I'm sorry. You're playing a magnificent.
This is true.
You are. Sorry, Ben. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Fuck this guy.
I guess I'll just go back to my alt-right, boards and hang out there again. Anyway, so you guys gonna take that back to Professor Mahali?
Yeah, we'll let her decide.
Okay.
I mean, do we really have to use him? I know it's probably.
He's got access to the notes that we need.
Well, anyone has the access. In fact, Dr. Solstarny, which he mentioned, is well versed in Zan's notes, his work. So if we really wanted to, we could go to them.
So we don't technically need Muhalani's help or
we need
Albion's help.
Muhali to get onto the continent, and we won't get Muhali's help without the apology. We won't get
So
Muhali.
here's the situation. Muhali needs you to help her deal with this situation before she can free up anybody else to help you.
So if we do this for her, we can go, by the way, that anyone else is this person. Call them up.
Sorry, you cut out there. What'd you say?
So we can just say hey, that other person we need you help with. Yeah, call them up. Go get them. We need their help.
Yeah, you could easily say, while we were talking to the asshole, he mentioned Dr. Solstarny. I think we'd rather work with her.
Let's try that.
Here's a question. This may be no, that wouldn't work in the long run. Never mind.
Are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting we forge an apology.
We could just murder him.
She specifically wants him out in front of the media giving the
Ah,
apology.
shit.
Well, he agreed to it. We'll just get her to agree to it.
He just wants to agree.
His
Yeah.
terms are her problem, not ours.
True. Yeah, let's just take it to Dr. Muhali.
Okay, but we can agree after this that we're not going to be messengers anymore, because this seems like a very back and forth thing.
Yeah.
There's
I
always
cannot like
opportunity to change the message. We can see if Muhali is agreeable to rescinding his academic suspension and restoring his access to the restricted collections, but perhaps just a temporary lift of the record on his tenure file. Until the apology, of course, and then it remains on his permanent record should such incidences ever arise in his works for the university. It'll be means for termination.
You mean
So,
trick him?
by the way, is Nibbles around?
I'm here.
Okay.
Sorry, Lucas.
I didn't know if you saw the note I sent you in chat a while back.
I'm still at the vending machine.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know
so
that
many
was just
chocolate
me.
bars.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I had I rolled a culture check for all you guys, and Nibbles was the only one who actually recognized the name Alabians 21-2 and what it referred to, because the
Yeah,
contemplatives have a practice where they abandon their childhood names for one based on a favorite quote or intellectual hero. And
Was his Hitler?
Sounds like it.
no, his was a radically anti-conventionalist scholar, Alabians, in the year 21 after Gap. And the books and pamphlets that the guy wrote contain the famous line, "When the past is unknown, we must make a tradition of challenging so-called tradition."
Because of the gap. Hey,
No,
Professor Buhani, how are you?
Yes, so how did your conversation go?
It didn't end in violence, so
Not
that is a
talking
victory.
to brains.
He has some terms for his
Terms? Really?
He requests that you rescind his scholar what's the term?
Tenure? No.
His academic suspension.
His academic suspension, and give him back whatever. All of his
Restoring
studies
access to the restricted collections of the university.
Thank you. And erase this off of his permanent tenure review.
If he apologizes.
If he makes the apology, then we would reinstate him, give him back the access that he would have as a tenure track professor, and remove his academic suspension. But I don't see why I should not put this in his file.
Agreed.
Would it be possible to remove it temporarily so that he does go through with the apology?
So he said that that's the only way he would apologize.
Pretty much.
Yep.
He was quite insistent about it.
Okay, who wants to make me a diplomacy check?
I'll do it, but I don't know. Maybe Captain. I'll take it with assistance.
I'll assist.
Okay, whoever's going to try to help, go ahead and roll your help. That's a help.
Rolling them in the tower.
I will roll a help.
The helpers can roll it open.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna roll mine in the tower.
Aerodin has not been very helpful.
There's a help.
But will you tell me what it is? Because I'm curious.
It's a +4.
Mine's
Well-
a +9. So I'm like, what?
+13.
So you rolled a natural 10. So right in the middle.
That's not bad. That's a 19. That's pretty
Yeah, and
decent.
then plus the 4, you got a 23. So
That's not bad.
while it's clear that she's not particularly excited about this, and you guys aren't particularly excited about this, she does agree, as you're diplomatically explaining the situation, that in order to get him to apologize, she is in fact willing to not put this in his permanent record. So you have successfully convinced her that that is the only way he has agreed to apologize.
Huzzah.
Okay, now we go talk to the brain.
Or she could just, I don't know, send a message to the brain, so we don't have to keep going back and forth.
Now that that's been dealt with, we were wondering if it might be possible to get in contact with Dr. Solstarny.
Well, if you'll give me just a few moments, I will send a quick request to Professor Alabian's 21-2 and schedule a press conference for him later this afternoon where he can make his public apology. And as soon as I take care of that, yes, I will start pulling together what references we have. Dr. Solstarny, you say, what? Yes, I do believe she has actually been looking into the same area of interest. So, yes, give me just a few moments, and I will. We can discuss this further. And if you guys will give me just a few moments, I'll be right back.
I hated that guy. Every argument he made, I was just like, stop. Stop. You took me out of context. No, we didn't.
Just because you're playing devil's advocate doesn't mean you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that their entire race of people should be dead and gone, and that all of their ancestors were a mistake. Why you gotta be so illogical about that? Fucker.
And then implied that despite the fact that he's studying in Castrovel, that Lashuntas are inferior to him.
Yeah, I was like, holy
And he wants tenure
shit.
at the Lashunta University.
Did any of us have our comm links on?
Probably all of us.
Wait, can we record that?
I don't know. He could just be an incel.
He probably is. He's a brain cell with none.
No pleasure center in that brain.
Because if
Also, the fact that he implied that Halquim Zan did all that like anthropological shit, you know, like archaeology and shit, in order to get laid, was a big like.
Oh yeah.
Fuck you to people's like archaeologies like.
Yeah, like fuck this guy.
Like, well, not just to him, but to the whole like study of archaeology, that they do it for a grandiose reason.
Yeah, they're all Indiana Jones.
As if anthropology is any more important than archaeology is.
Zan specifically was kind of like an Indiana Jones-esque, not really caring about the archaeological studies so much as the treasures he found.
Yeah, Chiskis did say it was questionable at best. I think that. Oh God, I hope the next professor is a lot better than this guy.
She's even worse.
I don't know. What if it's at the other side of the spectrum? Because honestly, those are just
right. What if she's a Formian? Oh gosh.
Because I've had like I've had an Australian vegan professor who made us watch a docu-porn about how animals are treated throughout the animal industry, and I cannot step foot into an animal shelter anymore, so it could be worse. No, it can't.
Okay,
But it's just the
so
other.
Professor Muhali arranges the press conference, finally gets that off her plate, and starts, looking around, consulting a few different archives and those sorts of things, and tries to figure out what exactly is going to be going on. Now, the way the adventure is actually written, it does assume that you get sent back to Professor Alabian's again. But since I'm not going to do that to you, I will say,
You know what? Aerodin will go back and just knock on the door and say, Professor Mohani sent you an email.
It's done.
And then turn and walk away.
and not too long thereafter, you get a message from Professor Alabian's and says, I appreciate your assistance in this most recent difficulty. To show my appreciation, I have decided to donate to you the proceeds from my last lecture.
Oh.
Yay!
No, thank you.
We get the payment for his racist lecture.
Oh,
Yay.
come on. Don't we
Oh
have
my
to say
God,
no to this?
Professor.
Come
No,
on.
it's money. You can buy
Well,
that fancy
no,
nice
yes,
gun you've been
wait,
wanting.
Wait. Counterpoint. We accept the money. Okay, we do. However, we donate it to charity of the people of his lecture with his name on it. Really rub it in his face. Or do you know we
Or-
could just accept the money? You know,
Or
money
we
is money.
just keep the money. Well, I'm sure we'll end up accepting dirty money at some point.
You're the
How much
captain.
money is it?
You're the captain.
But how much money is it?
700 credits.
700 credits?
Yep.
Not bad.
Just 700 credits?
Tell him to shove it, Ian. Come on.
That's not worth it.
Tell him to shove it.
I'd say it's worth it.
All right, fine. You're the captain.
Okay.
That's still like 115 credits for everybody, which is 115 more than you
I
had
mean, that is
before.
gas money. We did have to, fuel up the ship to get here.
I only
That's
have
like
10 credits.
that could buy you
so.
like a new rifle.
Not a good one.
Yeah.
I'd say it was a good one. I said a new one.
Questionable at best. It is, I can buy a rifle? It's more of a question.
So this other professor.
Okay. So, in addition, Professor Muhali, as a show of her appreciation for you helping to handle this, offers you a you like this. Professor Muhali offers you a Mark I Ring of Resistance as a token of her appreciation. And she explains that it was actually among the items that the contemplative requested in a grant application that fell through, thanks to his recent gaffe.
That will accept.
That's worth taking.
Yep, that will take.
So who wants the Mark I Ring of Resistance?
So who has sucky saves?
What
Probably
is
me.
the ring of resistance?
So the way it works, I read these because I was thinking about buying one, is that you get a +1 to your weakest saving throw. So like I have fortitude is +5, reflex is +5, and will is +3. So if I put it on, I'd get a +1 to my will saves. Right?
Correct.
Okay. So, yeah, mine is, I have a +5, +1, and +4. So whoever has the lowest pluses gets it.
I have 0, 4, 3, 4.
So your
So
fortitude is
look at
+4.
your fortitude, reflex, and will save are the ones you should be looking at.
Yeah, that's what she was looking. She was
So
also
her
reading
lowest is
that, sorry.
reflex at a 3.
My reflex is a 2.
Nibbles
But
has a 3 for fortitude and will.
I'm at a 113.
Oh no.
Wait. So, SR is strength, right?
No, that's spell resistance.
Yeah.
Oh, well, forget it then. I'm fine. I'm great.
I think it sounds like it should go to the captain.
Yeah.
Yeah. How can yours be 1, 1, and 3?
I don't know.
She's trying her best.
Oh, never mind. It's because fortitude
Well,
is based on con. Reflex
Yeah,
is based on
I
dexterity.
don't have a con modifier or.
Are Dex, Con, and Wisdom your 3 lowest?
So I don't have a modifier for strength, dex, con, or wisdom.
Yeah.
You only have
I have a
intelligence and
+4
charisma
intelligence.
modifiers?
And a 1 charisma.
How are your stats so bad?
I feel you. I got a +1 dex, +2 con,
Well,
and a +4 wisdom. The others are
doesn't-
negative.
She doesn't have an 8 in anything. Hers are all 10 or better.
I mean, I only have pluses in strength and charisma, and a negative in wisdom.
Yeah,
So
I have pluses in Dex, Con, and Intelligence, weirdly enough.
I mean, really, her strength should probably have been an 8. And she could have put those 2 points somewhere else. But, she wanted to be well balanced.
Oh, fuck.
Well, give it to the captain. She'll have +2 in something. Because you pick whichever of, because you have 2 of the low are tied for the lowest. You just pick which one.
Yeah, you pick one and.
Probably put it towards fortitude.
Okay.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I was gonna say it, but I wasn't sure if it was a sneeze, so it felt weird.
Wow, this session took a weird turn. We were all having fun teasing Eden, pulling fire alarms, and then we're like, and then there's this asshole.
Yeah, why was it bully Eden session time? Y'all are mean.
We just wanted to know about
We
the
just
kids whose names
Waiting
you
for the
forgot.
favorite.
We just want you to be honest with us. It's a trust building exercise.
Right? For all we knew, you were lying about the kids all along.
I would never.
I think
He's
they've
trying
just
to get pity out of us.
they've teased you so much about how many kids you have, they didn't remember what the true number was anymore. They want to see if you
Really didn't.
Actually, that was true.
I forgot about the how many kids he had.
When you
Okay,
described opening the wallet and all the pictures falling out, I assumed it was one picture for each kid. I didn't realize it was just tons of pictures for 3 kids.
Yeah, I didn't think it was multiple pictures of the same
Several
kids.
kids, like several
Yeah, I
pictures.
mean,
for kids.
really, who would have multiple pictures of their kids?
Like seriously though.
Like,
did
who
mention she
does
had, like,
that?
Like
Yeah.
who just
Yeah.
posts 10 pictures at a time to Instagram and Facebook and everything.
Yeah, like who actually takes more than one picture of their kid? Like, come on now. Who does that?
Now,
I
the
don't
real
think that
question
there
is, how many pets does Eden have?
God.
Is there
It's
one for each
challenging.
child?
So I have to give you guys a
Can you
cliffhanger to end the
add
session
them?
on.
Uh-oh.
No.
So here's your cliffhanger. After you've talked with Dr. Mahali, you've gotten the news to Alabians 21-2. They both start, digging into the university archives and pulling up data about Halquim Zahn, his expedition, the information that was confiscated from him when he returned from the expedition, and so on and so forth. And next time, you'll get to see what they find.
Oh shit!
Dun dun dun.
They didn't find anything.
Whole lot of nothing.
So someone's been reading the adventure ahead of time, apparently.
Who?
Amanda.
Amanda.
I was right. Was I right?
No.
I'll find out next time.
All right. Well, guys, it was
Well, I don't
I'm
want to ever
sorry that I,
negotiate with the brain guy again.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
no.
say that.
We're just gonna avoid that race of people.
We see a brain, we walk. I knew walking into a brain, like, not Core's thing. Core does not go well with brains. I knew this in the beginning.
The core doesn't like to deal with brains.
No,
Not a thing.
she specifically chose warrior. She's not a brain person. Specifically.
Jeez. Oh my
well,
God.
I
She's
apologize
the
for
captain.
the fact that the book made this guy into a complete asshole, and I had to play it well. So
Yeah, you played it well. You did a great job DMing. It's not your fault.
I'm sorry if you felt personally attacked. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we are specifically talking about the NPC.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Fuck this
We
guy
still
in
love
particular.
you, Ben. We just don't love your brain.
don't worry, I'm used to it.
Aw.
Does Allie know about this side of you?
Yeah, Allie has slowly, but like, I won't get into any politics or anything, but let's just say I was more conservative at one point, and Allie has been slowly beating it into my brain for a while.
That's why we love Allie.
What are Allie's thoughts about the Formians?
Do you think she would advocate genocide?
I don't think so.
She loves bugs.
She might at some points advocate Republicanocide, but not
Hey, I
genocide.
love Allie. You know what?
Welcome to the club.
You know what?
We
I'm on
have
the same page.
flyers and stickers, and we meet once a week. On
We'll just
Sundays.
eat the rich. It's okay.
But if we decide who gets the largest portion, which of Eden's kids you think it should go to?
Which children most deserves to eat a Greek bastard?
All right, that was great.
We just got a 700 credit donation that we don't want, so we're just trying to figure out where it's going to.
Which
That was
mouth
perfect.
is gonna
College
feed?
fund.
Very different. Why is
Do we
this
give do we give
always
genocide
such
money
a-
to Eden's children?
Apparently,
Only one of them.
Only one of
Oh
them.
my God.
I say-
It has
I
to
say
go to
we
the one she
decide
hates
based
the
off
most,
the-
right? Because like it's genocide money.
Oh my God.
I'm going to guess that the least popular child is his oldest.
No,
because
it's got to be the
No.
middle child.
But
There
she
are
has-
no middle
There are
children.
no
middle
They're twins.
They're twins. That's like,
One is older and one is younger, okay?
Wait a second.
Well,
what are you trying to
I-
say about middle children here, Nick?
I'm a middle child, I'm just saying.
I'm technically a middle child.
Both Ryan and
I
I are
am the
middle
oldest
children.
child. Would say we give it to the oldest child.
Oh,
Look at over here with the older children.
Well, we know the answer is that they're not going to hate the babies.
They're like
don't know.
4 and 2.
They're old
Have you
enough to
met
go
my
get a
sister?
job.
Yeah, your oldest is almost halfway to being a Yosoki adult.
Yeah, what a
so-
bum.
You guys
Are you disappointed in your oldest? Do they get good grades?
Do they get smoke bombs?
Do they yell at your wife and so you're just like, sometimes, kid.
Do they do
Sometimes.
drugs?
Oh my God.
Do you hate their friends?
No,
Do you hate their
well,
music?
I mean, I don't like one of them. I think one of them is a bit of a bad influence.
Oh, okay.
the truth comes out. We're working on it, guys. We're
I
wheedling
just
our
said
way.
one of their friends. I don't like one of their friends. You know that I don't like my kid. I don't say that I don't like my kid. I just don't like the people that they might
But
associate
obviously you don't like the decisions that they make.
with. Okay, look, you know I can be disappointed in the decisions that they make.
And who are you disappointed
We
in
never
the most?
said disappointed.
Well, you're implying it.
Which one of your kids do you think is going to be the most successful?
But the ones
Which one
that
do you think will be
associate
most likely to
with
murder someone?
The one that she likes.
all of you the least. Oh my God.
Which one do you think is going to take after you the most?
I have to say, I think the oldest.
That one's her favorite.
No, it's not.
Which one?
The
All right,
oldest.
guys.
To the oldest?
It's been fun, and I will catch y'all later.
Later, Ben.
Good night. Bye, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Guys.